with Rebecca Hargraves and Devon Stack.
Aha! Look at that. I played the intro this time.
I think we should just continue that discussion that we were having right before we went live. What do you think?
No, that's
You
okay.
wish. Everybody already knows you have a tongue ring, so.
What? No, I don't have a... That was the 90s.
It was the 90s.
It was cool for like a minute. I'm never going to live... See, I knew... I guess there's certain things I should keep private.
It's too late now.
I like to just be open and honest about stuff, and then now this is how you repay me. This is how
with ridicule
for sharing my past, my life with you guys. I'm never gonna hear the end of it.
Come on, don't you make fun of people that you like? How else would you show friendship to somebody? I don't even understand. I am ruthless
Kindness.
to my brother. Kindness. Ugh. Now I know you're a faggot. This is Outlaws. I'm Rebecca Hargraves.
I'm Devon Stack, and I guess. So yeah. Anyway,
did you see that some people climbed to the top of the I almost said Eiffel Tower of the Empire State Building, and it was like the gayest message ever? I just couldn't stop thinking this was such an opportunity to talk about the Jews. It was something gay about love. Let me look it up.
They probably had tongue rings.
They did. So I picked out I heard, let's see, news. Actually, let me read this really quick.
I forget I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I forget what it said.
What did the sign say?
It was like literally like the kind of thing.
It doesn't even make any sense. When the power of love beats the love of power, the world knows peace. Like with that many that's tweet length. That's like 140 characters. How much stuff could you say about the Jews?
It reminds me of like if you ever go to Goodwill and you go to like where there's like the pile of like shitty throwaway photos and framed garbage that like girls buy and then they give to Goodwill.
Totes.
Yeah, it's like something that would be printed on that. And it's like, for $1 you can have like this giant quote of faggotness like framed in your house, And they climb. They risked their life. They risked, and they got arrested probably, right?
Yeah,
because I don't think that's legal to just climb up there. And I was looking at the video that I saw, and I could be wrong. I don't know exactly the strength of it, but it looked like they were on like an antenna tower, it's not built to withstand the weight of two different people on it. Like it's. And they climbed up that, and I just kept thinking, like, oh, it'd be so funny if that just bent over. Like, if it just, like, went...
and they died.
Yeah, and they just, like, fell all the way down and landed on some Jewish couple, like, at the bottom,
Oh.
But,
we can only hope. We can only hope. Speaking of Jews, okay, so I heard about this guy. I'd never heard about him, Alan Abel, because I listened to a podcast called Criminal, and, like, I know that Phoebe Judge is a shitlib and everything, but she's got a really soothing NPR voice. I like her podcast.
Wait, who?
I listen to it sometimes. Phoebe Judge.
I have no
idea
who that
is.
Is.
Really big podcast. It's called Criminal. And she was doing this kind of like softball interview with the wife, but found it impossible to cover up or obscure like how incredibly Jewy this guy was. And I was like, how much more to this story is there? And guess what? There's a lot. And so I wanted to talk about him. She did an episode on him like a year ago. And it was the first thing that I put in the notes for our show. But this guy, he was a hoaxer, Devon.
Hoaxer.
A hoaxer.
Hoaxer. No. Everyone, if you're at a computer right now, I want you to type in hoaxer and then look at the little squiggly red line that develops underneath the word hoaxer as your computer recognizes that that's not an actual word.
It's a rarer word, but hoaxer is you're thinking of huckster, which is also a word.
No. You're thinking of trickster, which is a word.
No, I'm not. Hoaxer is 100% a word.
No, hoaxer is a word, which is why
he actually changed my thumbnail. He's like, it's not a word.
It was a terrible thumbnail anyway.
I could just see him the thumbnail was bad.
Oh, yeah, it was bad. Of course it was bad. And to be honest, the one I replaced it with wasn't really great either because I just didn't have the time.
Wait, you replaced the whole thumbnail?
Yeah, I just remade it real quick, and it was like, it's crap, but it's better than what she gave me. So whoever,
Oh my God.
let's just use it.
You're so mean. See, I'm used to just being praised endlessly for mediocre work, and so I don't really understand how to deal with somebody that tells me that what I do is terrible. I just can't deal with it. I can't.
I would expect you to have that kind of feedback all the time. You know,
Thanks,
but
Devin.
who are you hanging out with? The bar
Yes,
must
man.
be pretty
my
low.
my simp army. I'm just joking. That's what Cameron always says. I'm like, where are all of these simps?
Who
Like
are
I
these?
looked at our super chats this month and I was like, oh my God, this is
Who are all these people saying you're doing a great job? Because I don't see it.
On that note, Devin is like my dog. The older that he gets, the grumpier he is. He's
Yeah.
so grumpy.
It's because I'm
Grumpy
like
Devin.
an abused dog that was forced into a cardboard box while you played death metal at it for a week and a half.
Good Lord.
And then you let it out of the box and expect it to be your friend. He was nice when we put him in there.
Well, kindness could fix this one, Devin.
Yeah, well, like I said in the beginning, no kindness out there. You get called a faggot, apparently.
It's not my fault. It just comes out of my mouth, like saying kikery last week. Now all the cards are on the table.
Now
It's over for me.
We all know you're anti-Semitic.
I really am. Yes, if you didn't know already, I'm wildly anti-Semitic.
The jig is
All right,
up.
let's get into this guy. The jig is up. You caught me. I truly have never dropped an M-bomb though in online. Never.
Oh, you will. You will.
I feel like it's time, but like I don't know. It just seems so lewd or something.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'm going to wipe while you talk.
Thank you.
You didn't say anything. I was hoping it would cut you off, and you didn't say anything. All right.
Oh.
Well, anyway, there's the handsome little boy himself right there. There's our boy, the hoaxer.
Yeah.
The Jewish hoaxer.
Where was he born? Zanesville, Ohio. So for some reason, I thought this was the same time that you had done a stream on back in the day, another Jewish town in Ohio. But apparently there are several Jews from Germany moved to this town, Zanesville, in the late 1800s.
Well, and it's funny because his parents quite literally were Jews who came to America from Eastern Europe around the turn of the century. So,
yeah,
like the pattern is never going to break. It's kind of bizarre, like that every one of these people you don't see white people doing this shit, and as people will see, like it's kind of crazy. And in fact, that's why it worked, is because white people wouldn't do this sort of a thing, which is exactly why white people are susceptible to this kind of a thing, because they just would expect that, like, well, hold on, we're humans. Why would a human lie about that? Oh, you're a Jew? I take back the human thing. So
did you read what his parents did for a living?
They ran a store, right?
It was textile manufacturing.
Oh, I thought in that one documentary, he said something about his mom and dad running a general store or something like that.
No, way back in the day, like when his family first came. Yeah.
Well, he's a big liar. So, I mean, like
who knows?
Like seriously, this guy, by the end of it, you'll be like, how can you trust anything that comes out of this guy's mouth? So
it's so bad. I can't wait for this clip that you have. This is your talking point here is his mother taught him a valuable lesson.
Yeah. So here's his mom, and the good old Ida Abel. And yes, his mom did teach him a valuable lesson as a child. So, look at that. This is, he did not age well. He did not age well. So here he is. He's going to basically give you, I think unintentionally, because this was not, he was not telling the story as a way of explaining like how he started to choose a path in life, but he got some real insight into the Goyim at a young age when his mom abused an elderly Nazi. So let's have a little listen here.
The lady next door took in laundry. She had a big picture of Hitler on the wall. My mother could see it from our living room, and she asked her to take down that picture of Hitler. The lady, who was a refugee from Germany, said, "No, I like Adolf. He's a nice man." So my mom called the FBI in Cleveland and said, "I think there's a spy next door," because she's got a picture of Hitler in the living room, and 2 carloads of FBI agents come down from Cleveland to the small town of Coshocton, and they very carefully approached the house to bring this little old lady and interrogate her. She was about 65, 70 years old and lived alone. Very small lady, maybe weighed 85 pounds.
Good
They
Lord.
scared the bejesus out of her, that's for sure, because she came out hands up in the air. And I was very impressed by it. In fact, my mom made an anonymous call, one phone call to Cleveland, the FBI, and they came out just like gangbusters and did their job.
What was she doing? She didn't do anything.
Yeah, she had
The
a picture of
FBI
Hitler
came out for this.
in her house. She had a picture of Hitler in her house on the wall, and her mom could see it when looking into her house. But he learned a valuable lesson that all you have to do is make an anonymous phone call and say some shit, make up some shit, and you will get results. All you have to do is lie, and you can make things happen.
That's so outrageous in the privacy of her own home.
Yeah. And he seems to be reveling in the fact that she was like 70 years old and weighed like 80 pounds. She's like this little tiny old lady, and she's terrified by the cops. She's literally a German refugee, right? So she's doesn't have, I mean, I don't even know how she affords to have any kind of house, whatever wealth that she would have, she probably spent coming to America, you know? So
Right, so she has to be impoverished, but his Jewish family can come here and he can make a life of wealth with his fucking hoaxes. Ugh.
Right. So he learned a lesson. He can basically manipulate Americans, white Americans, by lying. And so I thought that was kind of interesting. Then he grew up. He looks so Jewy in that photo. That's just, you know, the Jewness. Anyway, he became a drummer. He was actually a pretty good drummer, from what I understand. And he went on to do like a one-man show where he was trying to be kind of a comedian. Like he would do like a one-man drum show, which, I mean, not a big audience for something like that, I would imagine. Like, I don't think there's a lot of people like lining up to go see, hey, there's a guy that drums on stage, you know, like talks about drumming history. Like that's literally what his bit was. Like he talked about the history of drums while drumming and then like telling jokes. But anyway, not super successful, but he wanted to be into comedy. He wanted to be a comedy writer. And he couldn't figure out really a way to do it. And you know, this guy's never held a real job in his life, by the way. I thought this was kind of funny. This is another clip where his daughter basically says that he's never worked ever in his life.
My dad never had what you would call a real job. He did briefly in the 50s, selling liquid fertilizer, but that only lasted one day.
So he's worked one day his entire life.
No, he's worked 2 days. I think he had like another job he got fired from.
From like a day. Yeah. So this guy has basically, here's what I found odd, and we'll have to talk about this, but there's a lot of these scams he does that would require a decent amount of money to pull off, and they don't have any obvious means of actually making money. You know what I mean? And so it's like, who's paying for this stuff? Because like he has the money to pull off this big hoax, but the hoax doesn't generate any cash. It's not like he's like like one of these Jews that does like a Ponzi scheme where it's like it's making millions of dollars. It's more just like to fuck with the heads of Americans and to break some kind of taboo or something like that, or social engineering. And you know, also like he's not super wealthy towards I mean, he ended up getting some money later, but like around the time when they shot this documentary, for example, this is I think 2006 or so. They lived in someone's basement, he and his wife, because he didn't have any money. And the funny thing, and he and his wife both refused to work. She never worked either. She would help him do his hoaxes. And
she was a hoaxing accomplice.
Yeah.
The daughter talks about it and like, oh well, my mom had her other projects, never stating what they really were.
Right, and they even trained their kid daughter to work on some of these hoaxes.
Yep.
So, but anyway, so moving on. I guess that's what he is famous for. Obviously, is hoaxing, and he talks about how the reason why he does these hoaxes and the reason why he tries to get media attention and tries to get on as many TV screens as possible. I mean, it's not the same now, but like, his most active period was like, 60s through 90s. And so that's, that TV was where it was at during that time period. Was to get as many eyeballs on his message and his whatever moral he was pushing or whatever taboo he was trying to break. So there's a clip of him saying,
If I saw a network show that might be a prime target for one of my spoofs, I lined them up in my sights immediately because I was aware of the fact that the larger the network, the bigger the audience, the better it was to promote your cause.
To promote your cause.
What causes that? Pray tell.
What cause could that possibly be? So, let's see what one of his causes.
The Society to Clothe All Naked Animals for the Sake of Decency, or SINA, S-I-N-A.
So this was a fake organization that he created, the Society for Indecency to Naked Animals. He made it as a parody, trying to lampoon white Americans that didn't want pornography, that wanted to censor television and not have nudity on television. And so he decided to create this fake organization that would sound ridiculous. He pretended to be a Christian right-wing organization that was super crazy. And then he would go on TV show after TV, because lots of TV shows, I mean, they just thought that this was real. I mean, it was a totally made up organization.
And the buddy that he had play, the actor that he had play the president was a goy.
Right. So, and here's another example, like what I'm talking about. Like he had enough money to hire an airplane to drop leaflets.
That must have been wildly expensive.
This is what I'm talking about. Like he somehow, like he just creates this fake organization so that lefties basically can point at it and be like, look at these psychopaths. And even like the right-wing people, if they see that on TV, you're like, all right, well, that's too far. And so that's, which was the whole point. That was what, he's trying to break the taboo and say, well, this is what you guys look like when you do this. And everyone's like, well, I don't want to be like that. I mean, he was basically doing the opposite of Fed posting, and so people don't want to be associated with that. And so now all of a sudden they're like, well, maybe porno's okay. But that's what he was doing. But he went so far as to having one. This is his wife, by the way. His wife was protesting, pretending to be a member of this organization, protesting in front of the White House. And to show you how long this guy was doing this shit, this is during the Kennedy administration. Okay, so he's doing this as early as the 60s. This is one of his friends, clothe all animals for the sake of decency. So this is, they're doing this in the 1960s, pretending to be these right-wing psychos. And then he wanted to get someone that would look more like a Gentile. And so he got one of his friends, an out-of-work actor, to pretend to be the president of the organization. And made up a fake name, made up fake credentials, forged a bunch of documents. and then approached all these media outlets who were, of course, happy to have him on because this is kind of a crazy guy. This will be weird. And I suspect a lot of Jews were probably in on the joke and knew exactly what was going on. And so they had him on. So here's a clip of the president, the fake president of Cinna. And even the name Cinna.
Cinna, yeah.
They know what they're doing.
He was unemployed at that time as an actor, and of course he wanted to write, but he hadn't really written anything yet. So when I thought of launching the campaign, I said, hey, Buck, all you have to do is pose as a moral maniac called G. Clifford Prout, the head of this non-existent organization. And Buck soon found himself appearing on a dozen shows.
Well, during the days of the ancient Vikings, in the great drinking halls where they held their feasts, they had huge dogs with long hair that were used as napkins.
And then when somebody wanted to have an interview, either I did it or Buck Henry did it as G. Clifford Prout. And we carried on this way to the point where I began to realize that it's like a snowball. You start rolling it, and it gets larger and larger and larger and larger, and wow, and now suddenly you have a dinosaur in your backyard.
Yeah, so, again, several TV appearances. This is before the internet, guys.
Mm-hmm.
So when you guys talk to boomers and wonder like why they believe so many lies, these were this was the media just like believing this guy. Like they didn't realize this was a totally made up organization, that this guy wasn't even like that, wasn't even his real name. This was a high trust society that was like, really? All right. Well, he thinks that you should put pants on a horse, which is literally one of the things he was saying, was that you need to put pants on a horse.
And one of the most insidious things about his hoaxes was that they were all kind of adorable, which allowed them to be more subversive because they were kind of sliding in under the radar in a really trusting and wholesome society.
Right. And in fact, a lot of people started sending in money to his like not a whole lot, but a little bit of money to donate to his organization. Chapters start opening up in other parts of the country, which it's hard to know. Like, was that another Jew doing that? Was it some psycho that was like, we should need to put pants on horses? Like, who knows who's doing that? But it's, it's crazy that this went on for as long as it did, because it went on for like almost like a full decade.
Yeah.
So here's a clip of him talking about how it's all about the moral message that he's trying to push.
I like to think that poking fun at something is really just a cover. It's just the skin, the surface. Underneath that surface or skin is a message, a moral message. In the case of Cinna, right away it's contradictory because we're for it in the title, and yet I was against it. So that's a clue that there must be something wrong here, that it could be a joke.
Yeah, or it could be you are trying to manipulate people with your performance art or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, he's pushing a moral message, and here's a picture of a parade float that he didn't have anything to do with. This was just literally some other group. I think it was like in Texas or something, created their own chapter, a Cinna chapter, and made a parade float. So he was just like, yeah, I didn't even do that. Someone else sent me this picture. So it was spreading. And then he makes it clear. In fact, I've actually played this video here. You can find it on YouTube. I forget what it's called. But this was one of the first videos trying to address porn. And I forget who put it out, but it was basically good propaganda. It was this guy showing that, like, hey, look, we got porn legalized in some of these states. It's becoming a problem. We gotta shut this down before it gets crazy. I mean, if this guy could see today, I mean, his brain would explode because just the stuff he was talking about was like PG-13, And so this is exactly what Abel was trying to counteract with his, so-called lampooning of decency.
A flood tide of filth is engulfing our country in the form of newsstand obscenity.
it was a commentary on censorship. If we're going to censor books in the library that might seem salacious, then why don't we censor those animals who are out there being naked? And that's what allegorical satire is all about.
Nope, that's not what he was trying to do. As we will come to find out later, he was talking about hardcore, explicit pornography, including group sex.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So after he hates the anti-porn movement that was building because guess what? Jews are the pornographers, and they were the ones that were trying to get rich with the pornography. And so he was just a voice against quote unquote censorship. Oh, this is speech. You're trying to stop free speech. And he realized with the success of this fake organization how easy, just like he learned when he was a kid watching his mom call the FBI on a little old lady from Germany for having a Hitler photo on her wall inside of her home. He realized that these trusting fools will literally believe anything.
Yeah,
Promoting
this is exactly
Cinna
what
gave me-
Sam. Oh, sorry. This is exactly what Sam Roth did. Like before we had to deal with these Jews, people just wouldn't push it. They just didn't even venture to the boundaries of what was socially acceptable, and then they just had to come in here and just start pushing it all the time. Sorry, go ahead.
Right. No, I think that's the thing that people don't realize is, for example, you don't need a rule for things that you don't think anyone's like, no one's going to do that. Why would we need a law for that?
Right.
Why would I need a law against having sex with a horse? Like who's going to fucking do that? And then someone does it and you're like, well, it's not illegal because we didn't think anyone would do that. So now we have to make a law against that. Yeah. And that's what happens with America is like you bring in all these fucking psychopaths. And eventually you have to have laws against like not fucking horses and things like this because, these psychopaths are doing it.
Promoting Cinna gave me the understanding that with very little funds and very few props, with a straight face, you can convince America and the media that you have this crazy movement.
Yeah, just all you have to do is have a clipboard and people think that you are supposed to be there.
Right. Because, I mean, this was also very clever because everybody wants to see an indictment of the media. That's appealing. But this wasn't an indictment of the media. All of his tricks, they were an indictment of Goy way of life and having high trust societies. And it was an expression of him being an outsider as a Jew and being a moral outsider. And that's why he did these things. He was a lot like Sam Roth, except he had the funnies.
Well, and that's the thing is you'll see a lot of people try to act as if this guy was some great, exposer of the media. Like that's how they try to frame it because he's lying to the media. The media often, and you'll see there's a bunch of examples we're going to get to. He'll lie to the media. The media will cover his lie as if it's real. And then, he'll be like, haha, it was all a trick. Or like they find out it was a trick or whatever. And so there's a lot of people that go, oh, he exposed the incompetence of them. It's like, no, he's just a liar. He's a liar and he's committing a fraud on the American people, and yeah, should the media do a better job? Sure. But I mean, that's like saying I rob banks because the cops are incompetent. I'm trying to expose how incompetent the cops are by robbing the bank and getting away with it. It's like, well, You're also robbing a bank though, and so
it doesn't matter anyway, because even back then the media was Jewish.
Right. And still is, obviously. So, well, speaking of Jewish, you want to talk about this one?
Is this a clip? Oh, sorry. I thought you were playing a clip. So he also did a fake presidential campaign for Yetta Bronstein. She was this fictional housewife from the Bronx. And the slogans for her were vote for Yetta. Things will get better. And she obviously had like ridiculous platforms, bingo, national bingo, White House suggestion box. And his wife portrayed her in interviews. So she was really in on this as well. And he used a photo of his mother, Ida, for this. So I think we have a picture of that.
I don't have a picture of her. Oh, wait, well, it was the one we showed in the very beginning.
Gotcha.
There we go.
Yep. And I think that this one was taken less seriously than the others. It didn't pick up as much
It was.
steam as the one we're about to talk about. I think it was like a little too ridiculous.
But the thing that I was, again, that's another question mark. They were like, oh yeah, we did a radio show. And I'm like, hold on. So like in the 1960s, you just got on the radio somehow. Like, how did you have a radio show?
Yeah.
You know, like they didn't have public access back then. And, you know, it's not like you could just, well, go to the radio station, like, hey guys, can I do a radio show? Like it wasn't like YouTube where anyone can just have a stream. How the fuck did you just do a radio show? Because that's what he talks about, but they never explain like how this was accomplished, where he could just do a radio show and pretend like that there's some Jewish woman was running for president and try out some of his other hoaxes. And
he obviously had some institutional investment and some connections to get these things done.
Right.
He obviously did. And I guarantee they were Jews.
Yeah, there's no possible way he's just magically, you know, on the radio and to do his hoaxes. So anyway, so that was one of his hoaxes. He did a fake presidential campaign. Reporters would call him up, and he would say, "Oh well, you know, she's at home. I'm the campaign manager," and he managed to keep it going at least for like a little bit. People kind of believed it, and he learned a lot. He learned a lot from that, you know, that hoax on how to improve things and make stories more believable. So another thing, again, this goes back to like, how the fuck did he do this? He just gets on TV on WNBC, which was the New York station. You know, that was the flagship station for NBC. And he just casually mentions, oh yeah, and then back in the early 70s, I decided I would start doing responses to editorials, and I would just take the opposite position no matter what. I wouldn't care. And just argue whatever, just to, you know, stir things up. So
does he appear as himself in this one?
Yeah, I think he's being him. If he's not being him, he might, I mean, because a lot of times he would get on to television by faking his credentials and pretending to be someone else. But I don't think that's the case for this. But it's weird that because he acts as if like anyone can just go to WNBC and be like, yeah, can I just go on the air and like respond to an editorial? It's like, what? You can't just do that. Like, no, you can't just do that. And yet he could. And so, for example, this is what he's arguing.
And I thought, I'll respond to them. If they say one thing, I'll say the other. It's just an exercise, having fun, and sometimes making a point.
So let's accept pornography and enforce the constitutional right of people to see, hear, smell, and touch without restriction. Establish Times Square as a legal zone for peep shows, erotic stores, and porno flicks.
So he was responding to an editorial saying that they need to get rid of all the porn that is in New York. Oh, and just surprised. Oh, just, you know, it's just an exercise. I was just taking the opposite position by trying to
Steel Manning. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. No. And as you'll see later, no, he definitely is into porn and was trying to legalize porn. And the way we know this is he made a movie called "Is There Sex After Death?"
Yeah. Yes, he did.
And
do you have any? Go ahead.
No, it was basically a porno.
Yeah, hardcore pornography. What were you saying before we went live? Like it's on you. Some of it's on YouTube. It's just like
yeah. So I saw so many dicks that I didn't want to see because like there's clips of it on YouTube, and there's just like not only is there just dicks, there's like group sex and stuff. And they're, I guess, telling jokes while there's like hardcore porno going on in the shot. But he and his wife funded this movie called "Is There Sex After Death?" and tried to get it in theaters. And obviously, I mean, it was, I'm not joking. Like it's full frontal and not just that. There's group sex, like actual sex going on in several of the shots. And in order to promote it, because obviously it's basically porno. You can't get it promoted. And it was hard for him to get it in newspapers or anything like that. He made up this hoax where he said that there was going to be a sex Olympics that was going to be just for the rich. Like an Epstein kind of a situation, right? Like there was going to be a bunch of rich people that would go into some auditorium, and then on the stage there'd be a bunch of people having sex, and they would judge them. Like it'd be people from different countries and all this other stuff, and newspapers believed it, and they were reporting on it. And he tries to make it sound like, oh, they were idiots for believing it. The reason they believed it. So this is from his movie, and I'll tell you. This shot, immediately after this shot, they all disrobe and they get on those tables and they start having sex, like, and look in a way that looks like they're being judged. Yeah. And so that's in his movie, and he showed the clip saying this is a clip of what the competition's going to be like, and people believed it. And it's like, well, of course they believed it. You showed them video of it, like, yeah. Well, I'd believe it because I'd be like, well, where else would you get this footage? I wouldn't think that you were some weird porno Jew that just had access to footage like that because you were shooting some weird scumbag movie. I'd be like, what the fuck is this?
Video was everything. If there was video evidence of something, it was irrefutable. Right. But he made all these claims about the sex Olympics, like that were kind of preposterous, like that it was an athletic and spectator sport, and that there were judging categories like gracefulness, grossness, potency, and mutual respect. And then he also added that there were going to be like tiers for a 2-minute climax, like different heats.
That's in the movie climax.
Though. Yeah, it's all in the movie.
It's in the movie.
But the way he portrays this in interviews is that like, well, I had all these ridiculous, judging categories. And that's why everybody kind of should have figured it out. But the footage, I mean, if you saw this back then, you would have been like, nobody would question it.
Yeah, because how else would you? Because it is porno, like it's hardcore porno. And the thing is, like, if you're think about it, you're just some normal white person in 1972, and you're not a porno Jew. You might not have. You probably haven't even seen porno in your life. And some porno Jew.
You've seen nudie mags or something. Yeah.
Maybe, but not even like, I don't even think that was like a given. You know what I mean? And so some guy comes into your newsroom and it's like, look, I got footage of like the secret, porno Olympics that the rich people go to. You're gonna be like, holy shit, what the fuck is this? And which is exactly what he did. So that created.
It was hard to get porno back then. Like we talked about Times Square, the people that were watching porno were putting a dirty nickel into some kind of slot in like disgusting Times Square to watch 30 seconds of a hardcore porno or to watch like nudie girls. It wasn't like it is now.
Right, like the through the glass, like they had like the little viewing rooms where it was basically like a strip club, only there was. Like you were in this little masturbation hut with like a window into like some room with a girl stripping. The reason I know this in detail now is I saw a movie recently. I wish I remember the name of it. It was from 1980, and it got really good reviews. Total shit movie, but it's about this guy that he has like this estranged wife, and then he goes to try to track her down. He finds her in one of these like establishments, and it was just so quaint, like in terms of, like it was from 1980, and the fact that he's going into like some booth, and then it's almost like, you ever see people in, obviously like prison interviews, right? Where they've got the phone. Yeah. And you pick up the phone, you're talking through the glass. Yeah, so it was like that. So there's like a phone in the masturbation booth, basically. And you pick it up and you talk, and it's like you're on a loudspeaker inside like the protective strip room that the girl is in. So you don't attack her. Was it
called Prostitute?
No, it was called oh fuck. I'd have to look It's got the guy from Alien in it. The guy that's like the skinny engineer guy that gets killed like real fast. I don't know. I'll have to find it, but it's this it's one of these avant-garde movies. Oh, it's also got the guy from Quantum Leap, the guy that plays not Sam, but the guy that's always got the little Palm Pilot is all Sam, I'm gonna put you in that whatever, blah blah. You know, like, oh, you have to act like you're retarded, like that guy. He's like one of the main characters. I don't know the actor's name, but you guys know what I'm talking about. And
somebody in the live chat has to know this.
Yeah, but the movie is just like, it's so, you can tell that like boomers thought this was like really, art house cool, in
was
1980.
it called Paris, Texas?
Yes, it was.
Ah.
Yes, it was.
Thank you, live chat.
Yes, it was. Yeah, so there's like this scene where he goes to talk to like his crack whore ex-wife who's abandoned his kid, and like the ending, the whole movie is just awful. But it was just, a lot of it takes place in this booth because she doesn't know it's him. And he's like talking to her through the phone thing and everything. And the whole time I'm just thinking like, this was porn back in 1980. Like you went to this little fucking booth and picked up a phone and did shameful things in a little booth. But anyway, so this Jew here is trying to normalize this stuff, and trying to get this kind of stuff in theaters and trying to break that taboo by putting it in comedy, because that was his whole excuse. He's like, all these people were saying it's porn, but it was really just a comedy. And it's like, come on,
okay,
just because
buddy,
you say a joke in a porn doesn't make it a comedy. Okay. So, but anyway, then there was protesters, and that he capitalized on that. And by the time it actually played in the theater, the line was around the corner to get in, because he had succeeded. He had manipulated the goyim into wanting to see his dirty movie by making it sound like it was this big crazy no thing, this big taboo. Oh, you can't watch it, and they packed the theater.
Yep. Yeah, he did this with Nixon too, which I'm sure he hated Nixon because Nixon was famously anti-Semitic.
Right.
But he made a movie about Nixon. He dubbed Nixon's audio and then I think mixed in some parts, spliced some parts of Nixon. And there was an impersonator. And he faked having these missing Nixon tapes. So the media showed up. And he just at the time pretended like they had also been erased. This 18 and a half
here he is in his
gap from the
his
Watergate
rape
tapes.
max.
Yeah.
Here that's him in his rapist mask.
And then he made a promotional. This was promotional as well because he made another mockumentary called "The Faking of the President." So I think a lot of his hoaxes were for self-promotion of a project that he was working on.
Yeah. So the project he was working on was, again, trying to lampoon Nixon, especially at a time when he was unpopular because the Watergate scandal was going on. But yeah, he announced that I've got the missing 18 minutes in the Nixon tapes. All the media shows up expecting to hear it. And then he goes to play the tape and it's erased. It's
gone.
And he's like, oh my God, they got to me. I can't believe it. How did they erase the tape? That's crazy. And media outlets reported on it. They thought as if this was a real thing. And this just goes to show you how fucking easy. This is one Jew. One Jew is manipulating national media on a regular basis. And here's another thing that's crazy too, and this is why the internet it's good that the internet exists now, is this little this rape mask that this very disturbing mask that he wears. He ends up wearing this during hoaxes for 40 years, and no one puts together, oh, it's the guy with the crazy rape mask that for 20 years has been wearing this mask, acting like different people in different roles. Like, no one puts this shit together. They're just like, oh, he has to wear the mask because he's in the witness protection program. Oh, he has to wear the mask because he's a whistleblower. And it's like the craziest fucking mask, too. It's not even just like a little weird. There's like a fake nose, like that little nose that's on it. It's a fake rubber nose that he glued to it.
Oh, really? It's
Yeah,
not
that's-
just his nose poking through?
No, it's like this weird rubber nose he stuck on the front of it. It's like it's terrifying, this mask. If I saw anyone walking down the street with a mask like that and I was carrying, I'd have to drop him because I'd be like, that guy is about to do something really evil.
He's gonna murder me. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, he has to go. And that's, but a different time back then. So
Next, he has another adorable little scheme, much like the animals wearing pants. So in 1972, he bandages himself. Somehow he gets, this was at the St. Regis Hotel in New York City. Somehow he is able to hold a press conference at this prestigious hotel.
Yeah. Again, how does that work?
Again, there are no questions asked. He pretends to be Howard Hughes, completely bandaged, and says that he's planning on cryogenic freezing and he'll awake in 30 years when the environment is germless. Then there's a second.
And look at all these
conference.
people. Look, all these people showed up.
Yeah, and it's revealed at that second press conference that it's Alan Abel.
But it's crazy that
what kind of calls was this guy making?
Right,
to get a press, like, what do you even do? You're like, I'm Howard Hughes and I'm gonna have a press conference. Like, how did he get the hotel to book it? How did he get the media there? How did he get a conference scheduled? This guy had some people on the inside,
and all of the New York media showed up and reported on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So next up we have
Idi Amin wedding hoax. This one was very obvious. I can't believe anybody fell for this. But he posed as this, he was like, I love Idi Amin. So he posed as one of his fans hoping to get him citizenship in the United States. And he orchestrated this elaborate green card wedding between this guy who kind of looks like Idi Amin, but he just found him on the subway.
Oh, Nig's
and
all
a
look the
young
same.
goy, of course, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant woman. These were all actors, and then this guy he found on the subway, and then there was a lavish ceremony that took place at the Plaza Hotel in Manhattan. The Plaza Hotel. How did he fund this?
Well,
and even back then, a wedding at the Plaza Hotel must have just cost.
Well, just think of the whole
fortune.
operation. So he had all these actors who, what are they all just working for free? I don't know, maybe, I guess. But he had actors to play all the security, the fake security detail that went with him. He had the limo service to pull up with this guy, with the security guards. He had to get costumes that would make him look like this guy. He had to get the costumes for the security guards. He had to rent the location. He had to, to put it on a show that at least is passable enough for the media to show up and report on it. It has to, that's not like trust me, I've shot independent films. I know how much it costs us to do like some shitty little scene where I'm not trying to convince like the media that it's real, where I control the camera. And even then it's tough because I'm getting like actors out of Craigslist for fucking nothing. Right. So this guy is somehow, leveraging actors that can keep a straight face and like under pressure too, which is not easy. They have like a bunch of actual reporters taking pictures and questioning you while you are lying. You have to have a room full of liars that are professional liars that can keep a straight face, not break character, is pretty crazy. And it's not just this. This is over and over and over again. He does these hoaxes. And again, the media reports on it, acts as if it's, if it's real.
And he fools the State Department too. I think that they showed up to the wedding.
The FBI showed up.
FBI, CIA. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Look at that. Then of course, in grand fashion, he fakes his own death. So the story behind this is that he heard some people that he had been working with. Were they reporters or something like that.
It was no, they were studio executives. You're talking about where they want to buy the rights
capitalizing on his death.
Right.
Yes, to get the rights to some of his stuff and his movies and things like that. They kind of put a price on him. So he decides that he wants revenge, and he fakes his own death. According to the papers at the time, he died of a heart attack while skiing in Utah. Now, this seems like something that would have been pretty easy to do. Of all of his stuff, this seems like one of the easier ones to orchestrate. And he had like a fake widow come out and everything like that. And the New York Times actually published his obit in 1980. And he held a press conference a little bit later. And he said, the famous Mark Twain quote, "Reports of my demise have been grossly exaggerated. And the New York Times actually had to print a retraction, an obituary retraction on this one. But yeah.
In fact, it's the only one they've ever had to do.
Well, why would they really investigate those? I mean,
right. Why would, yeah, exactly. So then in 1984, he starts another fake group called Females for Felons. And it's supposed to be a group that is providing sexual relations to men behind bars as a form of rehabilitation. So he's providing basically hookers to convicts who are in prison. And
but he said it was a junior league of women. So like non-prostitute women.
Right. Just like volunteer women, basically.
Yeah. Like normal goy housewives doing this.
Right. So he's trying to act as if he's defiling, white women to have sex with these convicts. But the other thing, again, he's trying to do some kind of social commentary, right? Like he never just does this for the lulz. I mean, maybe some of these smaller ones, but like he says with this one specifically that the reason why he did it was because he was trying to draw attention to the bad treatment that prisoners get behind bars. And so he was given an opportunity, but this was the way that he could get airtime. And then once he got airtime, he could actually sneak in some of his real talking points about how bad it is for people in prison, even though he was being over the top with his and so therefore we give them hookers. He was saying a lot of his rhetoric that he wanted to say from the heart, and then he would just kind of sandwich it with this crazy shit so that he could actually get on TV. So
this is really Jewish too, because they always, I shouldn't say always, but they downplay recidivism rates, and they're advocates for criminal justice reform because they want, chaos in the streets.
And then he goes with another rape mask. Like this is like a fucking Batman villain shit. Like this is like, I feel like this guy should be, murdering someone in this video we're about to watch. But this is him pretending to be a representative of this organization. And again, this is a different mask, but same weird nose thing.
He is here to talk about a program that he has gotten started that grew out of his own experiences in the prison. It's called Females for Felons. And this is the man who's behind it, wearing a mask today because he is in the Federal Witness Protection Program. Good morning. Thanks for coming.
My pleasure being here. I felt while being incarcerated, you're given a certain amount of food. Your punishment is you've given up your freedom. You're giving up everything. You're giving your credit cards up. You can't make phone calls. You can't really do anything anymore. You are trapped like an animal, and yet you're given a certain amount of medicine, exercise. You're given a certain amount of entertainment. But the one area that you're being denied is sexual gratification. In prisons, we've got literally thousands of good guys who realize their mistake, like I realized mine. Yeah. I paid for it. Mm-hmm. I paid for it. But why should I be denied the one area that could truly be a reward and uplifting?
What do you think, Fred?
It's a very interesting presentation.
What you're saying, shut up, let me finish. What you're saying is nothing more than cheapening sex. You're saying to guys, because you're in prison, boys, we're going to get you taken care of. And you're taking a bunch of nice women and turning them into tramps.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. What we're saying is you give a modicum of food, health, shelter, exercise, but you deny the one ingredient that will help rehabilitation, and that is sex. Why not? As a reward. We cannot build enough cells to house all the prisoners that we're going to have in the year 2000. We are not going to be able to have a chance.
We certainly can't build enough cells to give each and every one of them a little bidet so their little girls.
Well, we're not asking for that. We're not asking for that.
So he really took advantage of like this talk show in like the Jerry Springerification, I guess, of television that was starting to take place too. Because all these shows wanted weird, crazy guests, and he was a willing play, he would willingly play that role, and they wouldn't ask very many questions. That in fact, it was way easier to get past, the producers of a show like Jerry Springer than it would be on Dateline or something like that. Mm-hmm. But if you listen to that, that was an example of him kind of peppering in his actual talking points surrounded by crazy, where he was like, there's not going to be enough prison cells for all the prisoners we're going to have by the year 2000. Like he really did believe that that we were throwing everybody in jail, and that that we need to have better accommodations for prisoners. And that was like his I guess the subtext of his performance art.
Good Lord. So outrageous.
Yeah.
Who was that?
I forget the name of this show. But see here's the point though. Like, look at this. This is a white woman, a high trust white woman who believes that that's true. Well, why would he lie?
Yeah.
Why would he lie?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen this guy he was like a shock host back in the early 80s, and I've seen, you can almost see it. The something, I don't know that it was probably syndicated, but it didn't play, or at least not. I mean, I never saw it on TV, but so it didn't play where I lived ever. So I don't know. But I've seen clips of this on YouTube because he's had other controversial guests, which oftentimes are white nationalists, right? So when I've looked for
Downey,
that is
okay.
that is
I'm also unfamiliar with this guy. This Phil Donahue show thing, I missed this in my research. What happened here?
So the Donahue thing, it's kind of boring, which is why I don't have a clip of it, because the clips were all kind of weird. So here's the thing. I couldn't understand, like he tried to make it sound like he was, even though he's literally producing the lowbrow rage content that he's pretending that he's against.
Right.
He said that he was mad because just for ratings, Donahue was having an episode about people in their 70s and 80s who were just coming out as gay publicly, and they were going to come out as gay on his show. And he was like, this is just, like grug brain retard stuff to grab ratings. And so he and a bunch of actors, again, like, where's he getting these people, show up, and then they would raise their hand to ask a question. And then when he would go up, Donahue would go up to put the microphone in their face, they pretended to faint. And one after another, this happened until Donahue started getting paranoid, like, what the fuck's going on? And they evacuated the studio, and they continued the show without an audience, just because it was a live show, right? So they couldn't. What else are they going to do? And but it ended up giving. Here's the funny thing: is he says it's because I wanted to make a statement against garbage TV. Ends up being huge ratings. It does exactly what a guy like him would know it would do, because this is what he always did to get attention for his stuff. And so this excuse that, like, I hated garbage TV, and so this was my way to protest it, that you did exactly what you would have done to promote something, because that's what ended up happening. It was in all the TV show like evening news shows, even locally across the country, that Donahue was doing a show and all these people were fainting. And like all the newspapers the next day, like, oh my God, like Donahue was doing a show and like 8 people fucking fainted. It was crazy. And one of the things that was crazy, and it kind of gives you an idea as to like, it gives you a window into the psychology of Americans. He said that, and maybe this is true, maybe it's not, but I suspect that it is. He said that he only had like 4 people that he had fake faint. And there was 8 people that fainted. And so there were like 3 extra people that he didn't even hire, that because it was psychosomatic, because they saw other people fainting, they started fainting. And so, yeah. And so that was kind of crazy, because he's like, yeah, I didn't even know who these fucking people were. I didn't hire them. They were just fainting because just like, if you're in a 3rd grade class and someone throws up, then some of the other kids start throwing up because they see it. And that's how impressionable people are. Is some people pretend to faint, and next thing you know, I guess the boomer version of the woman that has fibromyalgia at work is like, oh my God, I'm feeling lightheaded. And she, fucking keels over. And so like, that's what happened. According to him, he said like about 3 extra people fainted that he had nothing to do with.
Oh, so maybe he's lying though. Who knows?
Yeah. So that was the backstory for the Donahue show thing.
I liked this Omar School for Beggars one. This one did. I reluctantly, I laughed at this, but this is another way that he was able to comment on some social issue that he was invested in, and like looked like he was being an advocate for the underclass, but really he was just being subversive. So he made this school for beggars, Omar's School for Beggars. This was a long-standing one. I think this one lasted more than a decade.
Yeah, no, it went on for he was on so many shows for like over 10 years.
Oh my gosh. And he posed as Omar, who was teaching really high level panhandling techniques during recession periods. He was on many talk show hosts, and he claims that it was a satirical commentary on the rise of unemployment and homelessness in America. But of course, he was doing this for his own reasons.
Here's a clip of that.
New York City is supposed to be down and out, but its beggars have never had it so good. At least those who go to Omar's School for Beggars. W5's Heinz Avigdor attended the classes.
This again.
Okay, so how are you going to go out in the street? You can't sit there in the gutter with your hand out because, you're just a beggar. Because you got to be like the people. You got to melt right into the population. You got to make them feel like they can trust you, see?
Omar's intensive training course takes a week and costs $100. For that, students are taught gimmicks to suit their personalities and locations that Omar handpicks for maximum cash flow.
You've just been bounced from your job, and you got to get something. You can't stand $100 a week, take-home pay $75. You need more than that. You need $200, $300, $400, $100 a week to live. Okay, you're going to get it, because this is what professional panhandling is all about.
There are a lot of people who are out of work who deserve jobs who can't find. A lot of PhDs. We've got a lot of space engineers from Cocoa Beach who came up to New York and can't find work. Got a lot of overtrained college kids who got MAs and PhDs and BSs, and they go out and they try to get work. Nobody wants them.
Aspiring beggars take 5 2-hour classes from this hustler. He says he's launched thousands of careers.
The 1972 Supreme Court says it's legal as long as you don't coerce anybody, and my people don't threaten, they don't use force, they use manners. They go out on the streets and they ask strangers for unsecured loans because they have an immediate emergency. And that emergency, I teach them.
So how do we know who is truly homeless and who is a con man? Well, here to discuss that issue today is none other than George McDonald. He is an advocate of this city's poor, destitute, and our homeless. And also in the studio is Omar of Omar's School for Beggars. And well, first, let's get the ball rolling here. George, tell us what you think about Omar's School for Beggars.
Well, there is no Omar School for Beggars, and there is no Omar. His name is Alan Abel. He's been a major hoaxer here of the media for 20 years.
Hoaxer. Ha 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 ha.
He said hoaxer.
No, he didn't.
He said hoaxer.
Beggars. Well, there is no Omar School for Beggars, and there is no Omar. His name is Alan Abel. He's been a major hoaxer here of the media.
Ha 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 ha.
Fine.
Ha ha.
You got me.
Suck it.
Media for 20 years.
So they ended up getting this big fighting, yelling match because he finally got exposed. But I'm just like, here's the thing. By this time, Didn't people see like the guy with the secret deep throat tapes that like did a big press conference wearing the very unforgettable rape mask?
Yeah.
You know, it's like how many times
couldn't he just wear a normal, what are those called? You know,
like a ski mask? Because because it's terrifying. That's why. I mean, look at that thing. It's so shootable. Like I can't think of like anything that like that's any more shootable than that. With the weird rubber nose, which by the way, is that a statement? Is he like trying to hint, look, everyone, I'm a Jew by putting like an extra nose on top of his nose?
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, holy shit. But no one figured it out somehow. I mean, I don't know how, but like no one figured it out. There's so much coverage of it. People just put it on the air, believing that it was real. I mean, there's clip after clip after clip after clip. I mean, you just saw like a montage, but there's like a lot more than that. And he does entire interviews with that rapid fire voice. And that was a trick. He claimed that he learned that by watching politicians, where he could just rapid fire talk and that way control the conversation so that the person interviewing him wouldn't have the chance to call him on his bullshit because he would just steamroll right over them. Kind of like Ben Shapiro, I guess, in a way, right?
Yeah. It's it is a tactic.
So the next thing, speaking of politicians, during the Iran-Contra scandal, when that was big news, he got he claims it was just some Iranian guy that he met on the subway or something like that. But he gets this.
I'm not even sure that this guy was Iranian.
Yeah, it might not have been. But he says like he got this Iranian guy or this Persian guy off the subway, and he makes this big press release that he sends off to all the major press outlets that are all itching for more and more information on this hot story because everyone hates Reagan. And so this was like the big scandal, just like, you know, the same thing with Nixon, right? When Nixon was in hot water and they were trying to, that's why they showed up to his fake tapes press conference because, this is a way to get at Nixon. And this was a way to, I mean, look, fuck Reagan. It's not like I'm a Reagan fan. And but you know that was the context, right? There was a bunch of lefty reporters that, just like with Trump, that would have done anything, that would have given their left, you know, nut to have a bad story. And so in that context of Iran-Contra, all these major networks showed up when there was this just random guy, like just some guy who's like, oh yes, I was involved with Iran-Contra.
And in the rush of events in the Iran scandal, a strange story in New York today.
I received $6 million for my participation in this affair.
Mehdi Baramani. He says he's an Iranian who made $6 million on the sale of U.S. arms to Iran, and he wants now to give it back.
We had a fake Iranian guy. Alan found this guy on a bus.
I'm just a businessman, and I want to show my good faith in bringing back this money.
6 million, you say?
A little on the nose there.
That's an odd number. But yeah, like NBC reported on this.
Nobody questioned this one. Yeah.
Yeah, ABC reported on it. Everyone reported on it. Like, oh my God, there's this Iranian, and the guy's name is fake. Like you said, he might not even be Iranian. He's just some guy that apparently found on a bus. I don't know how you do that. Like, hey, you want to be part of my Iran-Contra scandal hoax that I'm going to be doing in front of national media?
Right.
So.
This one, I don't really understand the motivation for because it's believable. I mean, people win the lottery all the time. But he hired this actress to claim that she was a 30-year-old cosmetologist who won a $35 million Powerball lottery. And I don't know. They did a party. I think this was it the Plaza Hotel? Oh, wait, no, Omni Park Plaza Hotel in Midtown. They threw dollar bills out the window, which caused this commotion down below. And it had nationwide coverage. But like, I don't know, what's the MO behind behind this one.
I think what he was doing, he was just proving that he could. Because in one of the interviews that I saw, he said that, well, you know, all these news outlets, they always do these reports, and it's always like some plumber or some like, you know, random Joe that wins the lottery. And I figured, I bet I could just have like this, you know, create the perfect person that the media would love to have as someone who won the lottery, like a good-looking single woman who, you know, breaks her back working in a low-paying job, and now she, you know, it's the perfect story that the Goyim are just ready to lap up. They just want to believe something like this so bad that they won't even check on it at all, and so that's why he did it, or at least that's why he said that he did it.
That's psychotic. So he was just proving that he could do it.
Yeah, he was just proving that this was a story that you want to believe, and so if I give it to you, you'll believe it. And that's literally what he said. And so Tom Brokaw even like covered this story.
Everyone loves a winner, of course. By now, lotteries are old news in this country, but big winners, well, they still attract a lot of attention. And when the news got out that a New York woman had won a fortune in the state lottery, reporters were all over the story. And what a story it was.
30-year-old Charlie Taylor has probably given her last manicure and facial. The Dobbs Ferry cosmetologist is the lucky winner of last night's $35 million lottery.
I saw the ticket, and I can't believe it. I'm still in shock.
Tonight, the 30-year-old cosmetologist is the single winner of the $35 million lottery jackpot.
There is a woman from Dobbs Ferry, New York, who may be the luckiest person in the state tonight.
Yeah, so they just... And they did. I have like, let me see. I have the full version of the story here, but people just. I mean, there was news report after news report reporting that she was the one that won the $35 million jackpot, and all they had to do again. This still costs money. It still costs money. And here, I don't understand. Like, who's investing all this money just so that like you can trick the media into buying a fake story,
right?
Like. That costs you money, like to have like you know, to rent out the venue, to pay for all the drinks, to pay for all the actors, to throw the money out the window. And, you know, like what's going on here? Who's paying for this?
30-year-old Charlie Taylor has probably given her last manicure and facial. The
I actually heard that part.
I flipped. I freaked. It's great. Yeah. It's great.
See, but here's the other thing too. It's creepy because you watch this, and if I didn't know, I would believe this woman. I'd be like, oh, yeah, because her acting's not bad, and it makes you question, like, if just some random Jew can fake all these stories on all these different news outlets, what are other Jews with a lot more resources and more nefarious motives willing to do? I don't know, babies and incubators.
Was there any particular method that you chose in picking those particular numbers?
No, it's a funny thing. I had a dream.
You had a dream about the numbers?
Yeah, I had a dream. So that's what made me pick the numbers.
We caught up with Charlie tonight at a Manhattan hotel in the midst of her celebration.
I was at home and I heard it over the. You know, I saw the ticket. And I can't believe it. I'm still in shock.
Charlie will receive an initial payment of $1,666,000 before taxes, then 20 annual payments of the same amount. And guys, she's single.
I'm so psyched. Yeah.
Howard Thompson, News 4, Manhattan.
Always take the lump sum.
Yeah. So it is, like I said, it is a little weird. You wonder what the motivation for that was. Because it wasn't free. And with all these, it's kind of like, how is he benefiting? Because it's not like he's getting, like, what would you get out of that? Like, they're not paying for the interviews, you know? So
and as far as I could tell, he wasn't profiting off of any of these in any meaningful way.
Right. So it's just like you're losing money. So there has to be something more to that.
The next one, I know why he did this.
Yes.
So he created a KKK symphony orchestra to lampoon David Duke. who was campaigning for governor of Louisiana. This was in 1991. And I think some radio stations covered this and some local news outlets.
Right. In fact, they even recorded they actually recorded a record. He basically sent out press releases saying that the KKK was trying to soften their image by making a symphony orchestra that David Duke was conducting, and that they were putting on a concert. And then he had, again, he had records made. He had records made and pressed and sent to radio stations asking them to play the KKK symphony orchestra. And it's like, who's paying for that? And there was, again, here's a political cartoon trying to make it sound as if this is real. And it was, of course, to politically hurt David Duke, who actually was doing surprisingly well in that campaign. Mm-hmm. So, that's the motive. The motives behind that are pretty obvious.
Yeah, of course. What is this graphic I'm looking at?
Which one?
The previous one. Yeah.
It's David Duke ringing, like he's like, oh, David Duke is like acting like he's doing charity, or because of this. I don't know. Like, it's not.
Why does he look so Jewish?
Maybe because that's who the guy really was that was doing that campaign. That was a fucking Jew. Yeah, I don't know.
Go ahead. This one was good. There's a lot of news coverage on this one. This is fake kidney sales. I don't know. I thought this was one of the more believable ones, but in the 90s there was this complete lack of organ donors. I remember it being all over the news. So he kind of seized on this moment and knew that it was going to be a media racket. And he had his friend who also did a lot of public work with him in the previous hoaxes. So I don't know how they weren't getting caught at this point. I mean, we see Paul Hyatt like 15 years ago in one of the previous ones, and he poses as an unemployed.
He wore a mask.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He poses as an unemployed college graduate willing to put his body parts up for sale in the New York Press classified section. And he said that he was so desperate to sell his kidney or lung for $25,000 to pay for school and to pay for his lifestyle. And when requests for interviews began to pour in, he appeared in disguise at Grand Central Station. I think we have a clip here.
Yeah, in fact, this is where it became part of the lexicon about, oh, what, are you going to sell your kidney? People used to just say stuff like that because it became such a big story. People thought it was real.
It is a decision most of us probably could not even imagine, selling a lung or a kidney for money to live.
A man so desperate, so in need of money, that he's putting his body parts up for sale.
He says he's a college graduate who's been out of work over a year, is 15 grand in debt, and is about to be kicked out of his apartment.
I was just going over trying to figure out what do I have of value. I don't have a car. And out of all the things I own, this is pretty much the most valuable thing I have.
And you think your reasoning is that you own these organs and therefore you should be allowed to sell them?
Well, I think so.
Why would he appear masked?
Well, because, as you said, he doesn't want to be noticed from being part of other hoaxes, and he also
No. But why would he, as the college student, appear masked? That should have tipped some people off.
Well, he was saying to the reporters, he claimed, well, I think some people are questioning the legality of what I'm doing, so I don't want to. And in fact, they said that it actually helped because it gave it more mystique, and so people would see, oh, who's this masked guy with the kidney? This is weird, and so like that, it kept them drawn to the story.
He should have worn the rape mask.
Yeah, well. Yeah, he could have. They wouldn't have noticed because, it's the same rape mask that's been used in 50,000 hoaxes. It can't be. It's got to be true.
They need an audience, and the only way they're going to get an audience is to have perversions and calamities galore, because they want excitement. They want drama. And I give them that.
See, and that's his excuse. Yeah. The Goyim need their scandals, and they need their titillating stories, and so he's just giving you what you want, Goya. That's all he's doing. This is what you've been asking for, right? I'm just giving you what you want. And you'll hear this from like, from pornographers, from drug dealers, from all the people that degrade the society with their profession. They just say, look, I'm just, I wouldn't be rich if you weren't buying what I was selling, So, and
that's what they say about usury too.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. And people will try to act big brained by saying, well, they're right. Right. It's kind of like, Stefan Molyneux, when he was cornered about the JQ, he was just like, well, white people just need to try harder then. And it's like, okay, like, come on, man. And I heard that there's a lot of people that were saying that at one point, I don't think he is now, but at one point, Owen Benjamin was saying that, where like his response to like Jewish nepotism and Jewish power was just, well, you just need to try harder and outcompete them. And it's like, no, you don't understand. Like the rules are different.
They're cheating. Right?
Yeah, that's the whole thing. If it was just about competing, that's not a problem. But the problem we have isn't that they're out competing us; it's that they're breaking the rules. And anyway, so
I don't know, which I think we should do. We're gonna have to. Play.
Inevitably, that's the thing is the high trust society is crumbling. It's the high trust is on its way out. So
more white scammers. That's what we need.
Yes.
This was big news in the 90s too. Everybody was talking about Jack Kevorkian because it was this, of course everybody remembers, but he was administering euthanasia to legitimately terminally ill people. I don't know that he ever did it for anybody that had like mental health problems or anything like that, but maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was just terminally ill people and very elderly people. So in a response to this, Abel created this supposed euthanasia cruise to offer the final voyage for the terminally ill. It had a 1-800 number, an office in Florida, which also would have cost a lot of money. He printed up stationery. He sent out press releases. And he said that the cruise was for ordinary people who wanted to expire in luxury.
Yeah, and once again, you could say this is another way he's trying to break the taboo. Everyone's obviously uncomfortable with the idea of euthanasia, and especially, I mean, look where we are now with in Canada, especially. So this was his way of saying, I'm going to make it over the top ridiculous. And so that what Jack Kevorkian's doing actually doesn't sound so bad, because I'm going to push it so far to like this, beyond this limit that that makes it seem like, not a big deal what he's doing.
Yeah.
All right.
What's this Jenny Jones clip?
So this is what I was saying. He was having a field day with the Jerry Springerification of another Jew, by the way, Jerry Springer.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, and Jenny Jones. No, maybe not Jenny Jones. But like 80%, I would say, of daytime talk show hosts were Jewish. Sally Jesse, Ricky Lake.
Ricky Lake was Jewish.
Even what's his face? That used to be on Current Affair. Maury. All these fucking people. But anyway, because
Maury wasn't black.
No, Maury Povich.
Oh,
you're thinking Montel. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Maury's the paternity test guy, right?
Yeah, but so is Montel. I mean, because that was it's trash TV. Let's get Niggs on TV admitting that they don't know who the dad is. Right? Everyone loves that. So but because of that, because there was like a new ecosystem where he could exist. Because again, as he said, well, the goyim were asking for it, so I was just going to give it to him. And these producers weren't going to thoroughly check the backgrounds of people, because quite frankly, they kind of didn't care, because if it got them ratings, then who cares if it's real? It's just it's a spectacle, It's about as real as wrestling, And so if we can create this spectacle for people, and they're going to tune in and watch it, and people are going to syndicate our shows and pay our advertisers, then, who cares? So this is a clip of him with an actress faking being an abusive husband on Jenny Jones.
Before you tell us what happened, it is daytime television. Don't take us off the air, okay? Give us the daytime version of what happened.
So I waited till I was sure he was asleep. I grabbed my trusty little tube of Crazy Glue. I kind of pulled back the sheets gently. And I glued his penis to his butt, right where it belonged.
In the angriest moments that I've had with this woman, I would never think of gluing her parts together.
No, but you've smacked me around a couple of times.
Not very much.
Well.
Yeah, so that's the thing is, again, it demonstrates how, like, all the gullible white people in the audience were just that they were just gawking at some spectacle that was all bullshit. It was all just made up. You know, yep. and in fact, he's not unique in this. Jerry Springer had a lot of fake guests. There was a lot of these people that were, and even if they were real, were told before the taping, or if they were live, before they went live, hey, you know, if you throw a chair at them or something like that, that's going to be good for ratings. And so if you could do that, that'd be great. You know, and they would try to get these people to act like animals. And just degrade the character
the discourse
of our society. Yeah,
exactly.
And so that's what, and like I said, it was perfect because it was fertile ground for him to do that. So you want to talk about the next one there?
Sure. Next, he did Citizens Against Breastfeeding. Now, I don't want to go into personal stories here. But I do know for a fact that Jews have problems sexualizing breastfeeding. They think that it's got a sexual nature to it. So he created this fake organization, Citizens Against Breastfeeding, and he campaigned at the Republican National Convention to ban breastfeeding as this kind of incestuous relationship that arouses the mother and the child can't consent. And then he talks a lot about circumcision.
Yeah.
Yes. And how this relates to circumcision and the lack of consent. So he's trying to normalize that as like equally as natural and as necessary as breastfeeding within the discourse, because there were anti-circumcision advocates that were rising around this time.
Right. So that was basically his underlying message was that, well, you know, if you're trying to be against circumcision, then you're basically one of these nutcases that is against breastfeeding.
Yeah.
So here he is on television.
Should women be allowed to breastfeed in public? One of our guests tonight says absolutely not. Jim Rogers is the East Coast spokesman for Citizens Against Breastfeeding. And Leslie Burby is the vice president of Pro-Mom. So Jim, let's start with you. What's wrong with breastfeeding in the open? Is it too sexy?
Our position is, after 22,000 respondents have been interviewed using primarily the Minnesota Multiphasic Personality Profile, mothers are getting erotic experiences by breastfeeding. Also, we found in a number of cases, and this is only a 2-year study, so it's just a warning flag, many youngsters grow up to become, shall we say, antisocial because of the long breastfeeding period when they are addicted to the mother's breast, and they have this oral gratification need that manifests itself into smoking, drinking, and in one instance, Monica Lewinsky, who was breastfed until she was 4 years old.
I think they call those erotic experiences bonding. Leslie, do you have any reaction to what Jim is saying?
Well, with due respect, had I known that Jim was going to be on the show, I don't know that I would have agreed to appear.
She's onto it.
Yeah. So he pushed this not just on television. They had a website, obviously, set up. They had a hotline set up that you could call in because he loved getting the hate calls. Here he is on the radio.
Director of what?
National Association to Get Rid of Breastfeeding.
Jim?
How we doing?
We're doing really good.
So how did you get so passionate about this, and where did all this come from for you?
I've been out in the field. I've interviewed hundreds, maybe thousands of breastfeeding mothers
who, after 2 hours of interrogation, have admitted that they've had erotic dealings with their baby, which is incestuous. It's a violation of the baby's civil rights, just as we feel circumcision probably is, too. And it's been going on. It's rampant.
So there he brings up the circumcision.
Rights, just as we feel circumcision probably is, too. And it's been going on. It's rampant. Nobody is raising the flag except us. We're saying, hey, stop it. Don't use the breast because it's a naughty nipple.
Hey, Jim, could we have a couple of our listeners jump in on the phone?
Sure, why not?
Heather is on the phone. Wants
Heather,
to talk to you, Jim.
You're on with Jim Rogers from Citizens Against Women Breastfeeding.
Jim,
yes.
I am a scientist.
Yes.
And to use some very unscientific words, this is a load of crap. God gave us milk in our breast for a reason.
Heather,
have a good day.
Why don't you have an aspirin and lie down for a while? Put a cold rag on your forehead. You'll feel better.
So there you go. And he'd go out in public with signs and loud, megaphones, and, try to get into arguments with people. He was on several TV shows, and obviously lots of newspaper articles were written about it and all, whatnot.
He was probably getting money from formula companies.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, he was hoaxing all the way into the 2000s. One thing I noticed was in 2006 they redid the lottery hoax.
Good Lord.
Yeah. So in 2006 they went into like an Olive Garden or something like that. I forget what the restaurant was, and they had they gave $2,000 to the host and said, we're paying for everyone's dinner because we just won the lottery. And then they called up the media and said, oh, the lottery winner is over here buying everyone's dinner. You should come cover this. And a bunch of news media showed up while they were there eating their dinner again. But they paid why are they pay? Who's funding the $2,000 just to have like some news coverage of someone who didn't win the lottery won the lottery? You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Yep. Something that really struck me about him is that he didn't care about having any personal credibility. Like, if nobody can ever trust your word about anything, what is your life going to be like? And the truth just didn't matter to him. I mean, he played it off like this was fun. This was an adventure. And that's how his daughter also played it off. But that's not really what he was doing. I mean, he had made an enemy of the truth. That was his entire career in order to subvert white society and to show that the Goy are supposedly gullible. But he always made things believable enough that the people that believe them, they didn't seem like victims to me. And then he had that plausible deniability as well.
Right. No, he was always tricking people for the sake, well, at least according to him, for the sake of tricking them. But it's like, you obviously get off on this in a way that's either, if let's say that he's not getting any money for this and he's spending $2,000 just for newspapers to say that someone who didn't win the lottery won the lottery.
Yeah.
That's like an addiction to lying. That's an addiction to duper's delight. That's the only way you can really describe it is a weird Jewish addiction to tricking people. And that's the only way. That was the outlet. And there was another example, I think in like 2010 or maybe 2009, HBO was doing a documentary on I don't know, it was some degenerate, like, we're going to do a documentary about penises, or like literally it was something like that. And they had some in the back pages of Variety or something like that. They were asking for people that want to talk about their genitalia for this documentary. And so he made a fake ID, like literally went through the process of making like a fake identity, contacted them, filled out all their forms, their release forms, and even got paid like not a per diem, but like some kind of like appearance fee. Then the check they made out was to this fake name with his fake ID, and he cashed the check. And basically said, oh yeah, my penis is only 2 inches long, and It's really weird that I've got this mic. And they put him in the documentary as one of the subjects of the penis documentary. And it aired nationally. And then, of course, at this point, someone's like, "Oh, it's the weird rape mask guy." Like, how did you not know that that's the guy who keeps lying all the time? And but at that point, it was too late. It had already aired, and when they interviewed him, he said, "Well, the reason they believed me is they thought that no one would lie, no man would say that about, like, I was just proving that." Because they didn't think someone would lie about having a small penis, they wouldn't check into it, and so that's why I did it.
Really, that's true. Why would the shame? The shame. This guy was shameless, truly.
Yeah, he just wanted to. Again, he didn't care. He wanted to just lie. Like that's really what it was. He just wanted to lie. He had that genetic need to just lie to white people, like that was, he had this genetic drive, this burning desire and almost imperative that I must trick a goy today. I'm starting to feel the shakes. I haven't tricked a goy in like 3 days. I gotta trick one. So
Puppy, come here. Sorry, my puppy's bucking around if there's noise.
So that's I mean, again, he stayed active for a while. I don't think he's dead yet. I think he's like old as fuck though.
Seriously?
Yeah, he's like 90 or something now. Let me look up and see if he died. Because when I went to his website, no, he finally died in 2018. Looks like, because his website was
about time.
Yeah, his website is still up, and they're selling like his daughter's documentary and like all this other stuff. Like he started doing like self-help talks and I don't know how he could be. He was literally like a motivational speaker, like in the 2010s. So like right before he died, I guess he was going. Lord. Yeah, he was on
motivate people to what? He was teaching people how to. Yes, he was teaching people how to like expand their wealth base through trickery. I think that he had a book that was called something like that.
Yeah, no, it was. Let me see. He had a few books, I think. That loaded up something weird. Hold on. Later years books. He had a book in 1966 called The Great American Hoax. See, there's the thing. He's like writing books about how he's tricking people, and he's still able to trick them. So 1966, he wrote a book called The Great American Hoax. He wrote another book about the Yetta Braunstein thing in 1966 called The President I Almost Was. He wrote another book in 1970 called Confessions of a Hoaxer. Hoaxer, by the way. That's in the title. Hoaxer, not hoaxer. The Fallacy of Creative Thinking, which he did under a fake name in 1972. He literally did write the Panhandler's Handbook and sold that as Omar the Beggar, 1977. Don't Get Mad, Get Even. He wrote under another fake name in 1983. And then How to Thrive on Rejection in 1983 as another fake name. But there was another one that's not, this is Wikipedia. That I know there's another one because they fucking shilled it in his daughter's documentary. And it was related to his motivational speaking. I don't know why they don't have it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the story of the tricky Jew. And those are the kinds of people.
We cover this because not all Jew trickery is so criminal. I'm not really sure if he broke any laws, but he was still
watching Outlaws.
Hang on. See, that's why I take the way I have it set up. That's why I turn off the fucking intro, guys. Because then I forget to turn it off when I switch back, and then it starts playing again. See, this is why we just need like a producer. We need someone that's like flipping switches and hitting buttons. And so I don't have to do all that. I can just be like,
it's not worth it. Don't bring somebody else into the show.
I'm not going to do it. I'm just saying. Someday AI will be able to do it. You just have like an AI robot doing all this shit for us.
Well, I hope my dog wasn't too loud. Sorry, guys. She hasn't been alone before ever, and so I just can't bring myself to leave her alone.
Yeah, I've been ignoring Churro meowing for like 20 minutes, and you're sitting there like cuddling your dog.
She's new. She's brand new. She's been with her litter mates. Her name is Poppy. She's a whippet. I love her so much. She's amazing. She's already house trained.
Now all of a sudden, kindness isn't gay, huh?
I don't know what to tell you. Listen, I've had a series of piece of shit dogs. And so I was like, after Musket dies, my next dog is going to be the perfect dog. And so my friend, my beautiful, amazing Russian friend, is a hobby breeder of whippets. And I like carefully picked out this puppy I've been waiting for 2 years.
The fuck's a whippet? Isn't that like when you get like the can of whipped cream and like inhale the nitrous oxide out of the can?
A whippet is an ancient English breed between Italian greyhounds and greyhounds. They're the middle size.
Pretty sure whippet's like galaxy gas.
It's also nitrous oxide. That is true. She's amazing. I love the breed. I don't think I'm ever going to have another type of dog.
Yeah, you say that now. Wait till she starts chewing up the furniture.
No, she would never.
Start shitting all over your carpet.
No, never. She's already potty trained. I'm telling you, I've had her for like 3 days. She's potty trained.
Attack some Jew in your front yard and gets you sued.
Okay, well, I give her a big juicy steak for that one. There are no Jews up here anyway.
There will be. There will be.
Don't bum me. You're such a bummer. Good Lord. Let's talk about Antelope Hill. We do have a sponsor for the show. Antelope Hill Publishing is the premier American publishing house for informed and principled political dissidents. They publish essential authors like Dr. Kevin McDonald, David Irving, Carrie Bolton, Dr. Ricardo Duchesne, Josh Neal, and more. Their catalog includes original works on modern issues like the opioid crisis and the people and networks pushing transgenderism, as well as the original historical sources from National Socialist Germany, Fascist Italy, Spain, Britain, Japan, and Hungary. Many available in English for the first time. Their catalog also includes thrilling fiction novels, beautifully illustrated and wholesome kids' book. Their latest book, they just sent me this, for the first time in English, a selection of writings from the 23 issues of La Conquista del Estado. These are essential to understanding the early foundation of Spain's revolutionary right and are sure to be appreciated by scholars and enthusiasts alike. Whatever your interest is, you're sure to find something you want at Antelope Hill Publishing. Please use code OUTLAWS for 10% off your order. It really helps us. It helps them. We love Antelope Hill. Thank you so much. Support our sponsor, Antelope Hill.
That's right.
Okay, do you not like dogs?
You know, it's not that I don't like dogs. I wouldn't like having a dog. Because I just feel like they're just kind of like a pain in the ass, you know, like dogs like me and I like dogs when they're not my dogs, you know, and it's just that they're just so high maintenance, you know, like that.
That is true. My cat barely exists.
Right.
She just barely exists.
Like I got my own shit going on. I don't need like some little furry kid that's, you know, that's never going to grow up, chewing up the furniture and shitting on the carpet, you know? So
I don't know. Whippets are famously lazy, just incredibly lazy. They have like the lowest indoor vigor of almost any dog. They run around outside for an hour and then they sleep for like 23 hours. That's incredible.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I just like, I don't know. I'm not a dog person. I mean, I don't dislike dogs. And when I go to my friends' houses who have dogs, like I play with the dog and stuff. You know, my neighbors have dogs and, you know, that's fine. I understand the practical uses of dogs, like protecting your property. And I've thought about it from that context, but then it's like, but now if I ever go anywhere, right, I have to worry about the dog, you know, like I can't just leave the dog to like fend for him. Like a cat, you can just like leave a cat for a few days and nothing bad's going to happen, you know?
Churro survived 3 months in the desert.
It was like more like 5 months. So,
jeez, was it really 5 months?
Yeah, it was close to 5 months Because I didn't tell anyone. Like, he was gone for months before I even said anything, because I thought he was like he's going to come back. And then when I finally went on stream, I was like, oh, I think he's dead, guys. It was like 3 months after that he showed up.
Good
So
Lord.
yeah, he was gone for a long time. I don't know where he went, but that's the thing. Like, no dog's going to do that. Dog would be dead within like a week out here, you know?
I don't know, but they're so don't you want the cuddles and the snuggles?
I get cat cuddles and snuggles if I want them.
It's not the same. My cat will just wake me up sometimes by scratching me.
Yeah.
Or like scratching my furniture. I'm like, oh my God, get out of the house.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I've had cats like that. Churro doesn't do that. Churro's pretty chill, and goes and does his own thing. So.
But look how cute she is. Look how cute she is. Isn't she cute? Look at her snoot. Look at her pointy face. She's like a snake. Oh.
She's like a greyhound mixed with I don't know, something.
This does nothing for you?
It's it's like a dog.
I expected oohs and ahs, Okay.
I don't know. There's probably people in the audience that like it, but
I should have known. Let's do some super chats. Do you want me to start?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, cool. All right. A big dono. Thank you for saving me, Romega, for my shame. Devon, have you heard of the Briley brothers or Timothy Spencer? Interesting cases that are never talked about.
They don't sound familiar right at the top.
Here, I'll pop these in the Outlaws outline. There's a tongue twister.
All right.
That was a big donut. You're gonna have to give him more than that. Nothing.
What do you want? Where am I looking?
I don't know.
You want me to look
I
it
guess
up?
We should look it up. Briley brothers or Timothy Spencer. Just fill the air while I put this in the outline so I don't forget.
All right, Briley brothers. The Briley brothers were a sibling trio of serial spree killers and rapists and robbers who were responsible for a murder, rape, and robbery spree that took place. They're black, by the way. In Richmond, Virginia, 1979. Linwood murdered a woman in 1971 and served a year in reformatory. Really, just 1 year?
That's
in a reformatory? Yeah. After raping and murdering a woman in 1971. Meanwhile, while that's going on, some Jews on TV saying that he's got the secret Nixon tapes. In 1979, the three siblings, with the help from an accomplice, went on a killing spree in their home city of Richmond, killing at least 12 people. 2 would-be victims escaped unharmed. Linwood and J.B. were sentenced to death. In 1984, the 2 elder brothers escaped death row with 4 other inmates, but were recaptured within 3 weeks. Okay. Linwood and J.B.
They were out for 3 weeks.
Yeah, and then they got executed by electric chair because we used to still do that in the 1980s. And yeah, and then there's the other 2 are still incarcerated. Yeah, all right. Well, that sounds very interesting.
Yeah, that does. Thank you, Romega. We appreciate it. We'll look into the other one soon. Troy says it's similar to Bo Rat humor. Yes, Sacha Baron Cohen, also Jew. Yep.
Right. Same thing, same exact thing, except for he was making money doing it. When he would act like LEG or Borat or the gay one, Bruno. Yeah, like he would make money off of shooting those interviews and selling them to HBO or whoever. So that makes sense because there's a financial interest. Plus, like he's super connected. Anyone with the last name of Cohen, by the way, guys, having the last name of Cohen in like the Jew world, that's like having the last name of like, Bush or something like that in like the WASP world. Like that's like royalty Jew last name. And so the fact that he has, that's how he gets all these interviews with, like Trump and all these celebrities and politicians that he got interviews with when he was acting like those characters. But he was super connected and made some money off of it. This guy, I feel like there's also got to be some kind of connections for that to be happening.
Has to.
But also he's not getting super wealthy, or didn't get super wealthy.
But he wasn't independently wealthy. There's just no way he could have done this without some kind of funding.
Well, and that's the thing too, is he's always complaining about how he never had a real job. Like he didn't work. That's the other weird thing is motherfucker hasn't worked since he was like a drummer in the 50s. And yet he's still like, he lives in like some house with a family and, is doing these hoaxes that cost thousands of dollars every so often. So it's kind of like, well, how is this working? Like, how exactly does this happen?
Yeah. I mean, the Idiot Mean one must have cost $50,000.
Right.
Alone.
So someone's paying for that shit.
Jay Fox, thank you so much. And Lucian LaChance says, Rebecca, do you still have the Chihuahua? Also, cats are better than dogs. I do not. I was sublimating my maternal instincts, and I had a Chihuahua for a long time. That dog was a fucker. So when I had my baby, he was like trying to bite my baby, and I was like, nope. And I posted him on, I don't know, some website. He was old. He was like 12 when I did this. And there was this old lady in town, and she just like loved taking in elderly dogs with behavioral problems, like small ones. She was so excited. She had like knit him a cap when she picked him up. And then he died 6 months later.
What has gone wrong in your life if you end up as the old woman who likes taking in old elderly dogs with behavioral problems?
Hey, it really helped me out.
If that, I know, but if that description
so
sums up your existence, what has gone so terribly wrong? Like, at what point was there like a way for her to not end up as the old woman who takes in elderly dogs with behavioral problems? Like, at what point? Because there was a point in her life where it was too late. Like, that was just going to happen, right? Like that.
Dude,
that was just
she
her
is
destiny.
doing a public service. Putting a dog down is hard. It's difficult. We put Musket down 2 weeks ago. It was, it was difficult.
But again, what do you do for a living? Oh, I take in elderly dogs that have behavioral. I don't
she
know.
had like a 17-year-old Maltese with one eye, and like it was.
See, that's what I'm
like
saying.
Dog hospice over there.
That's what I'm saying. Who is that? I don't know.
I think she's a good soul, and she helped me in a time of need and protected my children from getting bit, and I didn't have to put my dog down or deal with his death. It was like incredibly helpful to me. Okay. And I appreciate her, and I'm not going to say anything negative. She's got a big heart, that lady. I'm never making a breed mistake ever again. I no more Chihuahuas, never again. My Great Pyrenees is also a piece of shit. Like, no more. Whippets only from here on out.
Genetics matter. For sure.
They do. They really do. Yeah. I think we're good over here.
Okay. Then we got over here. Love and Division says, how easy it is for Jews to manipulate opinion. Growing up in the 70s and 80s, I knew many who would do anything to prove they were not prude. Even a straight guy who put up Mapplethorpe photos in his shop. What are Mapplethorpe photos?
I don't know.
I'm afraid to look that up. I feel like something horrible is going to come up if I search for that, but let me look anyway. Oh, it's just like naked black people. What the fuck?
What?
I don't know. If you look up Mapplethorpe photos, it's like these artsy naked black people photos.
Like chicks?
No, like dudes. Or at least the ones that pop up, immediately. Anyway. Well, that's horrifying. All right. Thank you very much. Love and Division. But yeah, it was easier back then to just make shit up, and how would anyone know? All right, we got likes to watch, says love Outlaws, love the reset, love Insomnia Stream. Sorry for neglecting your other podcast, Blonde. Hope you both are doing great. Cheers. That's from
I should
likes
chill
to
for that
watch.
podcast some more. I do a totally different, very serious podcast with Cameron McGregor on Thursdays called The Reset. It's at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time every Thursday. So check it out. It's very serious. No jokes are to be had.
So if you like boring stuff, then you just head on over there.
It's a hard-hitting news show, I will say.
All right. Then we got TMK 1335 says, Devon, have you given any more thought to a live action or AI version of Day of the Rope? The world needs it after the mostly disappointing release of Citizen Vigilante. I'm sure that the chat would be happy to fund the project if you needed to step away and get it done. I don't know. I think you're vastly underestimating the cost of doing something like that. It would take a lot of money to do like a full-on movie that doesn't suck. Like, it would be easy for me to make, like, actually not as easy. They clamp down on what you can do with Grok. Like when I made the Whitmans, for example, Grok let you just crank out videos all day long, it seemed like. And now I get like I still pay for like the Super Grok, and now it cock blocks me after just like a few videos. So I think they dialed it back, and I'm not paying for Super Grok. And even if I was, that's not good enough to do an actual movie. And it's just not there yet. Like it's to get consistent looks and voices for the length of a movie. The technology, at least available to me, is not good enough yet to do that.
Right.
So,
and Devon is a perfectionist too. So
yeah, I
wouldn't,
really
he just wouldn't
crap.
talk to me for 6 months. He would just, and then he'd emerge, his hair would be all long and stuff.
And I'd
I
be like,
finished my feature length film.
Oh yeah, if it was possible, I'd be working on it right now. I would just do it. But yeah, I would love to, and hopefully look, I had no idea the technology would get as good as it already got, and as quickly as it did. So it's entirely possible that like in 2 years, even it's like, oh, it's ready to go, and then I'll do it. But yeah. Then we got thank you very much, TMK 1335. Then we have a very generous dono from Red Neckerson, who simply says, appreciate y'all.
Oh, thank you so much. We appreciate you too.
Absolutely.
Especially in these summer months. They've been rough.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you very much. All right.
Cameron
then we got
is on my case to like do an itemized list of how much money we're making. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. I can't do that right now.
Don't want to know.
It's terrible.
The last Insomnia stream was rough. Like it was rough. It
like
was very
everybody
rough.
Stop it with your
And
outdoor ventures.
The frustrating thing is I had like over 1,000 lives when I did it. I was like, oh, this is going to be great. And then I get to it. I'm like, oh, apparently 1,000. I had like some of the most views that I had on that stream. Actually, it's one of my most viewed streams in the last month or so. And one of the least money-making ones.
Oh,
So,
I know. People, I get comments all the
is.
time like, you grifting bitch. I'm like, listen, worst grift ever. Like, how much money do you people think that?
Yeah, well, and it's like, obviously, like you're watching the show, so you're enjoying it. Yeah, the show's fucking free, like, so go make your own fucking show if you don't like it. All right, then there's
no money in this sphere unless you're like Nick Fuentes. There just isn't.
Yeah, there really isn't, unless you have Jews sending you thousands of dollars. Mm-hmm. All right, so we got USS Liberty says, Devon, my fiance fosters stray kittens as her hobby. Today she brought home 5, and one has some sort of brain damage. I think, sadly, still a loving cat, lovingly named Corky now.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Well, hopefully, it's at least able to, get around and stuff like that. I had a cat that had some kind of brain damage, and it was real floppy and had some issues, and it kind of died young because it, it kept having like seizures and stuff, and it sucked. But what are you gonna do? But hopefully it's healthy enough to, if you have some dopey cat, that's fine. But hopefully it's healthy enough to like, get around and stuff like that. But good luck with that. Thank you very much, USS Liberty. Then we got Denise the Celt says, this is for the 4 of you, Devon, Churro, Rebecca, and Rebecca's glorious hair. Happy 4th.
Thank you. She sent another one because that first one was an accident.
Oh, okay. And then she says that was supposed to be $21. Okay. I was gonna say, well, we're gonna split that $1, are we? all four of us. We're gonna get like a quarter apiece. Thanks.
At this point in the summer, I'll take it.
Yeah, it's better than nothing, I guess. Well, thank you very much, Denise the Celt. And then Pork Chop Express says, Happy White History Month. Did you listen to the Dan Bilzerian and Owen Benjamin on the Jake Shields this week? Informative, but they also talked smack about the gay Mexican. What do you think about Jake Shields? Mr. Stack and oh wait, I thought this was all kept going because it's the same one. I mean, he's always been cool to me.
I like Jake Shields. When I met him, because he came up for the Backlash, he came up to Idaho. He was like the nicest, most well-mannered person. He loves animals and he's a vegetarian, and I was impressed with him in person.
Yeah, he seems like a nice guy. In fact, I might be on a show at some point. He's invited me on. I just, we haven't been able to work out the time and stuff because of everything else going on. But
plug the show, Devon.
Oh yeah, well, I'll definitely do that. But it's just a matter of arranging it. But yeah, we've talked a couple times, and he's always been cool. And then you said, Mr. Stack, in the 90s, I pierced my ears to have 4 small hoop rings like Bono, but even I wasn't gay enough to do the tongue pierced. So there we go. See, I'll tell you what though. Multiple Bono. You're trying to look like Bono, and you weren't gay enough for what? You weren't gay enough for what? Anyone trying to look like Bono?
I don't want to get too graphic because my mom listens to this, but the male tongue ring is not. It's never had the reputation as being gay. That's all.
Honestly, it's because Chris Rock made one joke once. Like that's literally what happened. Chris Rock made a joke in the early 2000s, and everyone thought it was funny because at the time tongue rings weren't cool anymore. And and so it forever tainted everything. It was never considered gay like when it was going on. It was literally
Bono's gay.
Yeah, Bono was always considered gay though. So there you go. There you go, Pork Chop. All right. And we got Asterless 725 says, this renews my disdain for Jews like him. Your show magnifies this. Have some shekels for your efforts and research. Cheers.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Appreciate that. Then we got Anonymous says, over the weekend, Fuentes went on Fresh and Fit, and one of the girls asked him what his number one goal was. He answered to about a dozen nons, including the host Myron, to make America a white country. Well, he doesn't believe that.
He's got some PR that he needs to fix. That's why he's saying this.
Yeah, I mean,
he doesn't believe that because he doesn't think that his movement should be a white movement.
Right, and he says like he says the exact opposite on a regular basis. And look, I'll tell you what. Anything Nick says one week will be totally different the next week. So wait a week, and he'll say the exact opposite. So yeah. I can tell why. I know if you're simping for Nick, I know why you came in as anonymous, because I'd be ashamed too. All right, then we got Rabbi Baby Foreskin Eater. By the way, Nick's not even white. If we made it a white country, Nick would have to get deported.
Yeah.
So there's always that. Rabbi, it's funny. You're like, oh yeah, Nick said this to a bunch of nons. You mean a non said this to a bunch of nons?
Yeah, really.
So a room full of nons, like with no white people, basically. Ugh, you people. This is. It's so depressing. It's depressing.
It's also depressing that I still get some pushback, although it's not nearly as much as I used to, because I think he's kind of tanked his credibility.
Yeah.
For pushing back against Fuentes. I mean, aren't we ready for something more mature as a movement? Aren't we? I know he has excellent rhetorical skills. He possesses a lot of talent. I'm not saying that he doesn't, but like this can't be it, guys. He can't be it. That's not where the white movement is gonna begin.
No, he's not white. He's
not white.
He's not white. So sorry, like he's not white, and he's a homosexual.
Someone said he's just a quarter Mexican. Isn't he half Mexican?
It doesn't matter if he's just a quarter Mexican, guys. Would you drink a glass of water that was a quarter shit? I mean, come on. Like, it's just a quarter Jew. It's just I mean, give me a fucking break. You fucking, whoever said that, ban him from chat. Fuck you and kill yourself. Like, seriously. He's just a quarter Mexican. That's how it starts, bitches. That's how it starts. Well, we're just going to let in a few Mexicans to like mow the lawn. They're not going to take the real jobs. It's faggots like you that make us not a white country. It's faggots like you that create the white replacement that's going on now. You're just a quarter Mexican. Have some fucking standards. Have some fucking self-respect, you piece of shit. Fuck you. So
and I'm concerned about the Fuentes thing because it's not like Prager where people eventually will move beyond it. They typically don't get stuck there. People will stop at groyperism. They'll arrive there and be like, well, this is it.
Well, and there's no fucking value system. Like I said, he changes his position on everything every week. Like it literally is like, I know it's a meme, flip-flop Fontes or whatever, but it's true. I've known this guy for too long. I've seen him basically talk shit about everything that he claims to promote now. I've seen him call everyone that was pro-white wignets for fucking years. I saw him support Trump, and then he was anti-Trump, and it's like some of that, okay, some of that was he was growing up because he was literally a kid when he started doing this stuff, and I believe some stupid, but that excuse is over now. Motherfucker's almost 30, he looks like he's 50, and that shit's over now. Okay, that shit's over, and he's not white. He's not white. And I'm not saying that like, is it some kind of like one drop rule or whatever? Guess what? You have to know a little bit about genetics, okay? First of all, mestizos are so clustered, so far away genetically from white people. If you ever take a look at what's this? I forget what those cluster maps are called for the genetic test, but they are so far away from white people. It's not like he's like a quarter Spanish or he's like a quarter Italian or something like that. You're talking about a population, Aztecs, who literally did human sacrifices, threw fucking heads down like you've seen Apocalypto, right? Oh yeah. It's that kind of fucking shit. And those people were genetically cut off from Europeans for like 50,000 fucking years. They're almost as far away from us as niggers. Okay. And so I'm just telling you, he has nothing in fucking common with any of the founding fathers or founding stock Americans because the white that he is fucking Italian. He's fucking part Mexican. He's part fucking Italian. He's 0% Anglo. He's 0% founding stock. He has nothing genetically in common with me at all. And
how could that not inform your political decisions? It just does.
It absolutely does. So yeah, he's not one of us. He's not one of us. And it's like,
and so when he's saying we should have a white country, he's saying like with admixtures of my type, which is not white. So
yeah. And look, you can't fucking believe someone like that. It's like when Myron says that shit. Myron says, you act like that's a big deal. Oh, he said that right in front of Myron. Oh, you mean right in front of Myron, who says that all the time? Because he's like some Uncle Tom, like Somali or something like that.
He's Somali?
He's some kind of, it's some kind of like African or I don't even know what it is, but he's not white. He's also not white. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, but he found out that if he tells white people that the country should be white, knowing full well that's never going to fucking happen as a result of everything he says, then he gets money. He gets paid because he's like the Zoomer version of the base black guy that all the boomers send money to. And that's the thing is like Zoomers don't understand that they fall for all the same stupid tricks that the boomers fell for. They just think, no, it's different when we do it. And it's like, no, it's not. It's literally not. Like you have a based Mexican friend and a based black friend. And like, you're making all the same fucking stupid excuses that the boomers did for Clarence Thomas and everybody else. You know, it's like, no, they're not white. They're not fucking white. And
if we weren't so racially pure, we'd be making a lot more money.
Right. No, that's the thing.
Oh, Myron is Sudanese.
Okay. Like there's a difference, you know, yeah. So here's the thing. Like I could sit there and act like, oh, well, and be like more of a CivNet. I could act like more of a CivNet, and the money would come rolling in. If I said that I was like Captain Christian CivNet, the money would come rolling on in. But I'm not going to do that because I don't believe that. But guess what? Nick does do that, and that's why the money comes rolling on in. Not the only reason, right? Again, we already talked about how he's good at rhetoric and whatnot. But let's face it, if he started going full exclusionary white nationalist, which he couldn't do, it'd be ridiculous because he's not white. But if he was white and he were to do that and not lie about how he believes in like Catholicism, which he's totally full of fucking shit, by the way, then it would be, money would dry up. Money would dry up. But because a bunch of fucking retards out there that think that, like Dave was like, oh, the Holy Ghost is speaking through Nick, like there's all these fucking retarded Catholics that actually think that a gay Mexican guy that has probably done some shit is like secretly, like really, oh no, he's really into Catholicism, right? That's why he never goes to fucking church, right? That's why he says all these like non-Christian things all the time, right? Yeah, no, he doesn't believe that shit. He just knows that if he says he does, that a bunch of people will be like, oh yeah, sweet, he's part of our club. I mean, I'm so beyond frustrated with how fucking dumb people are. Like, I'm so beyond frustrated.
Yeah,
with
they'll
it.
come around though. I mean, you kind of have
they
to
won't.
wait for.
No, they won't.
They will.
No.
They will.
No, they won't.
People have made a lot of progression in the last 5 years.
No,
and
they won't.
We kind of had to wait. I mean, Nick will burn out. We're already watching it.
No, I mean, look, he already peaked out. I'm not saying this isn't about Nick. This is just generally speaking, right? This is the thing. Like the reason why, like on my stream, I cover all of these instances where we have white advocates that try their best and they spend their entire life trying to wake white people up or whatever, and it's never worked. It's never worked. And this is, we're talking about like I mean, we have at least a record of a century, because that's, around the turn of the century is when we had a lot of this, immigration start. So we had, for like a century, we've had white people like fucking ringing the alarm bells and shouting from the mountaintop saying, hey, white people. And it's like fucking snooze fest out there. And I'm sorry, that's just the way it's going to be. That's the way it's going to be. There's not going to be some great fucking white awakening out there. It's just not going to fucking happen. There's going to be a lot of white people that are going to have to die. There's going to have to, I mean, look, we're in the middle of a selection event, and there's going to be a lot of people that like, well, this Mexican sounds cool, I'm going to listen to him. It's like, all right, well, good luck. Have fun.
But we don't need all the people. The people are sheep. We need the vanguard. We need a few highly competent people. We need 1,000 highly competent people we can do this with.
Well funded though. You're missing that part of the puzzle too.
There's no white nationalist billionaire out there. I find that hard to believe.
There isn't. Because no, think about it. Like the closest thing you have is like fucking Elon, and he's not.
No.
I mean, he might even be Jewish for all we know.
He does have some Jewish in his bloodline, yeah.
Well, and his name's Jewish, and he went to a fucking Hebrew school, so it's kind of like, well, and he certainly, a lot of his children are Jewish. So, that's the thing. To get to a billionaire status, you have to be basically more, at that point, your identity and your race is your class. It has, that's who you identify with. You can never trust someone that gets to that level to actually be truly a white nationalist that cares about their people. Or because if they were like that, they would have prioritized their life in such a way that they wouldn't have ended up a billionaire. They would never have
achieved that status.
Right. But instead, they prioritized their status and their wealth. And if that's the kind of person you are, you're not going to fund that stuff. The only way that you would is if you saw some financial gain. Like if maybe somehow there was enough popular support for that kind of a movement where you thought that you could position yourself like by donating, like it's like you would donate to a politician, right? Because if he gets elected, then you'll get something back for that. But we're nowhere near something like that. We're nowhere near.
I want to be delusional. You don't. The problem with you, Devon, is you never let us be delusional.
Well, that's why, because I don't want you guys planning your lives like this is going to fucking, like that's going to happen. It's not going to fucking happen. you are going to have all these grifting faggots. You are going to have all these non-whites that try to grift on the anxieties of whites, like Myron does, like Nick does. You're going to have people that throw you a bone rhetorically, but then what's the, where does it go? Where's the results? What are you going to leave, Myron? Like, if you're so hell bent on this being a white country, get on a fucking plane and fly back to Sudan, you fucker. Like, it's like, come on. Of course, none of these people are going to do that. And so it's the cake's already been baked. You can't unbake a cake. The ingredients were mixed in and put in the oven a long time ago. And so whatever the future is for white people, it's not going to be all of them like rise up one day and kick all the non-whites out. That's just not
I don't
gonna
anticipate
happen.
that either.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. Anyway. So, all right. We got Rabbi Baby Foreskin Eater.
Good Lord.
Says, coincidence here, had to change my name for this payment platform. Rebecca, lovely as always. And Devon, you must have a face for radio.
No. It pains me to say this because I really want to hate on Devon today. But he did recently send me a selfie to show me his long hair. And Devon is a very handsome man. And he's also super tall. So I always want to fight people on the internet that are like, you must be so ugly. And then I'm like, I don't need to simp for Devon.
No, that's the thing. Is people want to be able to talk shit about me for some reason or another. And yeah, there's just, sorry, I'm just like I'm a normal dude. I'm a normal dude that all my dirty laundry is out. You guys all know about the tongue ring now. Like that was like the only big secret. And I'm a normal looking dude. Yeah.
Okay, by definition, you're not normal because you're 6'4".
Well, I mean, I'm tall, but like, but yeah, I mean, that's the thing is there's, sorry, like this myth that I'm like some kind of like shut in, like some kind of like weirdo quadriplegic or something like that. No, that's not true. But yeah, but thanks anyway, I guess, Rabbi Baby Foreskin Eater, for saying that like I'm some kind of fucking genetic mess. I'm getting mad. I'm getting all fucking riled up. I'm going to start fucking torching the place. I'm going to start fires at my desk. I'm going to start lighting things on fire. I need a drink. This is... Okay. Yo, Jimbo Rockford says, actually, Rebecca, you have dropped a casual nig bomb on stream. I can't remember which Outlaws episode it was, but it was one where you weren't streaming on YouTube. You just casually quoted someone.
Okay, quoting somebody is not the same.
I suppose.
It's not the same. It's not an organic N-bomb delivery. You have to call somebody the N-word. You have to call somebody for it to count, right?
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. Well, the rules have changed because it used to be like in the 1990s, they said nigger all the time on TV, like on the news, or if they, because it was context, right? Like you could say, right. Eazy-E then said that we niggas need to do, they would just read the quote and it wasn't like, no one was like, oh my God, I said nigger. That was like, that's recent. That's very recent. I'd say that's within the last 10, 15 years. But you could say nigger all day long. Like 90s and even early 2000s, and it might not be the most polite thing. Did. Yeah, and it might not be the most polite thing or whatever at the time, but no one was, your life wasn't over. Yeah. Then we got Cassandra says with a big dono, great big dono, says, not a hoax, but unequivocally Jewish. The first time I went to Saks Fifth Avenue without my mother, I ascended the subway stairs and was greeted by a newsstand magazine, and the quote, "Fuck all my holes."
Oh my Lord.
Well, there you go. See, that's the kind of literature that Abel was very loath to have censored. Was
Yes,
you know
yeah.
great
To
works.
improve our society.
The last thing America, you know, what kind of society censors fuck all my holes? I mean, didn't you know that in order to have a civilized society, even fuck all my holes has to be available on the street corner for all to have.
Good Lord.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Cassandra says.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate your support.
Yo, Jimbo Rockford says, fanboy question. How many times did try? You just said did try. And I don't know. Let me just read it. Did try and how hard did Matt push back against having Devon on the Beauty and the Beta show?
Yeah, he wouldn't do it. Yeah.
Did you ask him to do it? I didn't know that.
I did. Yeah. He was just, you're too hot a commodity and such. But I don't remember that was so long ago too. Yeah. I don't know. He's streaming with a Chinese guy and a black guy right now. So you can go over there and check it out.
Well, maybe that guy that was all into what Nick said to like the brown people can go watch that show.
I don't know how he's surviving.
Maybe that's more your speed there, Anonymous. All right.
Pissed him off, guys.
Nick is such a piece of shit that like if you're literally trying to send me super chats to tell me how based he is, we are on different fucking planets. Fuck him forever. And fuck anyone that looks up to him or thinks that he's based. That means you're fucking so blue-pilled that you're not gonna even get my show.
Yeah.
So like
people need to get with the times. I don't know who's listening to Nick anymore.
Yeah, it's like telling me it's like sending a super chat and telling me like, oh yeah, I was watching Hannity the other night. And oh boy, he was really getting into like what we need to do about taxes and trying to make sure that we keep healthcare private. We got Night Train says, I'll have to catch the replay. If we can achieve a white supermajority, then can I watch sports ball?
Are people on the sports ball team representative of American demographics?
No, here's my look. I've always thought this, even before like I cared as much about race. Like, here's the thing. Unless it's like let's say you were born in, I'm just picking a town, Denver. You were born in Denver, and the Denver Broncos, is like the people on the team are also from Denver, or at least Colorado, right? If they're not even from the state, let alone the city, then it's just stupid. It's just like, why are you even watching? Like if you're watching because maybe you play football and these are like the best players, and so like you're watching to kind of like get pointers or something like that on how to do a good job. I mean, I just don't understand. I have never understood the entertainment value at all. It's like, it's not like you don't know what's going to fucking happen, right? It's not like a movie where like you're watching it and like an alien, all of a sudden, an alien, what the fuck? There's an alien. It's like, it's not like you're going to be watching a football game and then like an F-15 is going to like crash land on like the field and a bunch of lions are going to fly out from the sides and start attacking people in the stands. No, it's going to be the same fucking stupid shit every time.
Someone's going to lose. No one's going to remember.
Someone's going to throw a ball to someone else and they're going to catch it and they're going to run over to like one side of the field. It's like, I have never understood the excitement of that. I've never understood how, like, even if you're like, you got something wrong with your brain, like those people, like they literally have done CT scans on people that watch sports and there is like something wrong with their brain.
Are they retarded?
No, they literally, they have the same response when they're watching sports that like people that aren't retarded have when they're actually doing something. Like, because no, I'm serious. Like the people that watch sports think they're doing something. Like they think that's why that you see them fit like if you ever watch those videos of people when their team wins and they flip out, or just, I don't know, anytime any team in Philly wins and they fucking burn the whole city down. Like those people they actually think they're doing something when their team wins. Like they think they accomplished something.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll even use language like that. Like, oh yeah, we won against the Broncos. We really? I mean, I actually used to work for the NFL at one point. I used to get a paycheck from the NFL and I never said we won.
Really?
Yeah. I did animation work for like an NFL team. And it was just like, I never thought I was like part of the team. You know what I mean? So it's just like,
yeah.
I used to get box tickets. I used to get box fucking tickets. I would show up because they were free, right? And then I'd eat like the free hot dogs and stuff like that. I would have no idea what the fuck was happening. I was just getting drunk. I would leave and not know if quote unquote we won. Like I would have no fucking idea. I would just, well, the game's over. All right, time to go out, guys. And I would, because I can't, even when I'm there, it's boring.
It's so boring. And it just lasts forever.
Yeah, for so long, especially now that because they have to plan for ad breaks, right? Because that's because like a bunch of numbskulls at home are like, oh, we got to watch our sports ball so that we can be inundated with advertisements, and so they purposely now make it even longer. Like a game's like 4 fucking hours long or whatever. So it's, no sports ball, no. You guys are disappointing me today. It's like I'm gonna fly into a rage pretty soon. Someone's gonna ask me, is it okay to be kind of gay? Can I be kind of gay? Like I'm just waiting for like what's next. All right, we got Gorilla Hands.
Little penis in my mouth.
Well, there we go. Gorilla Hand says, "I love Jews." Are you fucking with me now? No, I'm just kidding.
No, he's got to be. He's a long.
I know Gorilla Hands. I'm just fucking. Then we got Arch Stanton says, well, at least we don't have similar Jewish hoaxers. That's right. Nice use of the proper word. Putting up political candidates all over the world who pretend to be right wing. Then we'd really be in trouble. Now, that's the thing is, this is a perfect example of how easy it is for just some random dude with a rape mask to get the media and the American public to buy into some lie. So Tomahawk says, so basically everything has always been fake and gay forever. Well, since the turn of the century, at least.
Yeah, pretty much.
Since Abel's family came here from Eastern Europe around the turn of the century with all their friends. Then we got Iron Cow 86 says, I'm so glad we as grammar Nazis now. Hoaxsters is crazy. Almost as bad as the author of They Have the Rope repeatedly saying, hey, they hung them. I don't know. Are you trying to, I don't even know what you're talking about, dude. If you're
hanged.
If you're who cares? If you're going to fucking talk shit, at least make some fucking sense. I'm going to lose it. I'm going to fucking lose it. I'm going to fucking lose it. I swear to God on these people. Iron Cow 86. I'm going to fucking lose it, dude.
Devon's tired. He's a cranky boy. Okay.
I'm going to fucking lose on these fucking people. Hoaxsters. That's not a real world. Or real word. I can't even fucking talk now. You guys got me like so discombobulated. I'm literally going to just start strangling cats over here.
Oh no, Churro, get out of there.
I'm just going to get my SKS and just blow them away for no reason. Oh. And then you'll feel bad. I'll be like, that great. Oh. Now Churro's dead. You happy now?
Nice going.
Yeah, you killed him.
Rabbi Foreskin Man.
All right, then we got Jimbo Rockford says, I remember the push for the sexualization of breastfeeding thing. I can remember several different articles with women saying they orgasmed while feeding. I thought that was weird as fuck.
That's really bizarre. Yeah.
That is bizarre. And you know what? Some of that very likely is Jewish shit, you know?
Yeah.
Some of it is very likely Jewish porn fantasies, quite frankly.
Yep.
All right, then we got Book Track Grooves says Outlaws is sponsored by viewers like you. Thank you.
It is true. Sponsored by viewers like you that Devon likes to berate.
Yes, well, only when they're being retarded. Also by the New White Man Summer album on Rumble. If you're having trouble finding white pills, do your chores, train hard, and build them. There you go. There you go. All right. Then we got Gorilla Hands says, get a German Shepherd, Devon. Look, if I was going to get a dog, I don't know if German Shepherds would do well in the heat is the only thing.
Yeah.
I think that would probably be a bad idea, but I've always liked German Shepherds and Huskies, so.
No, you don't like Huskies. Don't do it. Musket was the worst.
No, just because you guys had a shit dog, though.
He was in the Humane Society for 2 years before my husband adopted him. He bit me one time when he was eating his own puke and I tried to stop him.
Yeah, well, there you go.
What a fucker. You're eating your own puke, idiot. Idiot dog.
Now we got Mike Hawk 420 Blazing says the reset isn't boring. It's just not fun.
That's true.
There you go. And then we got scroll. Grillahan says, how Jewy looking is Devon? Are we talking Woody Allen or Harrison Ford? My guess is he looks like Howard Stern.
I will say Devon looks, this never happens when I see somebody's face, except with Morgoth. When I saw Morgoth's face, I'm like, that's exactly what I was expecting. But this is what happened when I saw Devon. It was not surprising. It was like, yeah, all right, that's pretty much how I expected things.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah, I don't know if did I look like Norm Macdonald, I guess?
No, not at all. No, Devon's not Jewish at all. Not Jewish looking at all.
I'm normal American. Like I'm literally founding stock American. Like every branch on the family tree goes back to some like English settler or something like that. Like every single one. And I know this because Mormons are obsessive about genealogy.
Genetics. Yeah.
So, let's see here. Then we got Mike Hawk 420 Blazin says, when you guys make these streams, it makes me want to open up a soap and lampshade factory. My soul yearns for justice.
Oh, I know. That's one of the most difficult things that you learn in your adult life is that there really is no achieving justice, but you still have to fight for it your entire life. Like if I always, we're both in true crime, as is evidenced by this podcast, but I'm always watching families like give somebody that raped and murdered their kid the death penalty or like be there for that. There's no justice in that either. I mean, it's as close as we can get to justice, but we're not going to see the kind of justice that we want in our lives. We kind of have to accept that, and we can't just give up because things will get considerably worse. So we just have to keep fighting for justice, knowing that we're never going to get the kind of justice that we want. And that's a really difficult, depressing part of becoming an adult.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're just, like I said, we're not going to live, we're not here to be the ones that see all these problems resolved. But what we can do is avoid, for example, what's the value of knowing about this Jewish hoaxer if we hoaxer that doesn't hoaxer. See, you got me saying it now. You got me so like frazzled now.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah, sure. All right. So anyway, the reason why it's good to know about this fucking kike faggot here. There, is that better? Is that now you know not to fall for these tricks. You know what I mean? Like the value in having the internet is they didn't have it back then. So there was no way to, I mean, I still am surprised that no one remembered the guy with the rape mask that he kept wearing over and over and over again to every trick that he did. But now there's the internet. And so now you do know. And so now you don't have an excuse like the boomers have an excuse to believe people like this, because how would they know? Right. And so that's the value in doing what we do and trying to learn about, how to avoid, because look, there's a guy like him. I promise you, probably more than one guy like him out there today. And so now you know what to look for, hopefully, when you encounter that. But at the same time,
why we do this.
Yeah. At the same time, it's not going to be like Nazi Germany in this country in your lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Jimbo Rockford says, I don't know which is funnier, Devon crashing out on Nick Fags or I Hypocrite screaming at his audience when they piss him off. I can relate to the inability to suffer fools. Here's some more money. Well, I appreciate that.
Thank you. I love watching I Hypocrite. I love watching LP crash on at his audience. He's like so much more abusive than Devon is to his audience. But as a content creator, I don't like that term. It makes me sound gay. But you have kind of a love-hate relationship with your audience, right? Because sometimes you move further along and they don't come along with you and you're like, oh my God, but you still need them. You can't do what you do without them. So you have to walk this line of like withholding the building resentment that you have for your audience while still showing them that like you appreciate their support, because if nobody watches it, we're totally screwed.
Oh, I don't withhold.
It's a fine line.
I'll just call you if I don't withhold though. I'll just tell you, like, I don't play nice. No, I don't withhold.
This is why we're not making that chew money.
No, it is why. It is 100% why. I get it, but it's I just can't play that game. You know, I can't be like, yeah, I don't have a, I don't think, he's not Mexican at all. He's only a quarter Mexican. Fucking faggot. Oh, if I hear that from one more person, I swear to God. All right. Jimbo Rockford also says, oh, wait, nope. Just did that one. Anime Extremist says, holy shit, these super chats are terrible tonight. Is it a full moon? Okay, don't kill me. I searched it on Brave. Hoaxer is a word, according to Wiktionary. Well, yeah, according to Wiktionary, but according to your spell checker, type it out. Go to a browser, type out Hoaxer. Go to any text, anything that's got like the little squiggly red line underneath a word that you misspell. It'll tell you it's spelled wrong. So, like, look, I'm sure there's lots of words in Old English that are technically words that no one says anymore. In fact, here, look, I'm gonna find some words. How about we do that? Since you guys are so, oh no, we're gonna do that. So
we should be resurrecting the language of the past, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, irregardless is in Merriam-Webster now.
Oh, then I guess
it's a word for retards.
Then I guess it's a word now, just like Hoaxer, because it's probably in Wiktionary, right? Right? Yeah. You know what else is a word? Let's see here. On the morrow. I'm going to say, instead of tomorrow, I'll say on the morrow from now on. You know what else is a word? There's curlglaff. Did you know that? Curlglaff is a word. It means the shock of plunging into cold water. Curlglaff.
We should bring these back. Bring them back.
You know what's the word? Twaddle. Twaddle means
awesome.
Idle, chatter, or gossip.
That's amazing. Yeah. Bring that back. You never say Fortnite.
You know what a pissmire is?
I don't.
It's an ant, and that's where pissant comes from, apparently.
You shouldn't have had examples of such fantastic words.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start using those, and I'm gonna make up some globulus. Globulus is also a word, so you would just believe me. I could make it all this stuff.
What are your plans on the morrow? Is it to twaddle?
Oh, I won't be twaddling. I'll definitely not be twaddling. I asked Grok to like write me something in Old English, and it's like it's indecipherable. I don't even know. Like, I couldn't even pronounce this stuff. It's so fucking ridiculous. But I guess they're all words. I don't know.
I'm bringing back twaddle. That's just fantastic.
Twaddle is all right. All right, then we got, let's see here. Professor Chaos says, I don't believe we'll have a white nationalist billionaire because billionaires have to do business with big financial institutions, i.e. Jews, who will never allow it. No, that is the other side of that coin is, A, the type of person that would attract would not be most loyal to their race. They'd be most loyal to money and class. And then B, even if they were somehow and they got lucky, the second, unless they were like really good at hiding their power level, the second any kind of institutional wealth caught wind of that, they would put the kibosh on that. So that's the problem. Denise the Celt says, I did find a pic of Devon. I thought you would be more tall, dark, and ominous. You're very English looking. Your features are so Aryan and regular, you could be a serial killer and never get caught. Yeah, see, I'm just like a normal dude. I just look like a normal dude.
You cannot be a normal dude when you're 6'4". That immediately puts you in like the top 0.1% of men.
No, that's like there's tall ugly guys. Like, trust me, I'm related to a lot of them.
You can be a tall ugly dude. That's fine. Women will overlook all sorts of
Have you seen
weird
basketball players? Oh my God, there's some.
Yeah, but you can be
basketball.
too tall too. Like there's a sweet spot between like 6'1" and 6'8". Like right before you get into that freak territory, you know?
My kid brother's in the freak territory.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm the shortest dude in my family.
How tall is he?
He's got to be at least 6'8". Yeah, because he was taller than me when he was like 13.
That's awesome. Is he a skinny guy?
Well, he was. he was. But I don't want to talk shit about him. He's also a ginger. All right. We got Professor Chaos says niggardly is a word too. Anyways, keep up the good work. Yes, it is a word. But people literally were still using that up until like you couldn't
Bernie
say
Sanders did famously in that clip. That one
clip.
clip.
Yeah, so that was like that's not even that old timing. That was like in use until I'd say like the 50s and 60s. And then when niggers started freaking out about everyone saying nigger, it was like, no, we can't even say things that sound like it. I'm surprised Negro Modelo didn't go out of business. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for all those drunk fucking family members of Nick, they would have been gone a long time ago. All right. Well, and everyone on the reservation, I guess. All right. Then we got Mike Hawk 420 Blazing says, I will not be niggardly.
That was a sound bite on the Matt and Blonde show.
What was?
From Bernie Sanders. I will not be niggardly. We used to play that all the time.
Oh. I have not seen the clip.
I have a bunch that came through.
All right, let's hear them.
All right, let's see. A bunch. Let's see. Chihuahuas. Tuffy Banana. Best Jew crime show on the web. Keep it up. And he also said, P.S. Last time autocorrect got me and made it true crime. This is a funny story. So my dearest friend here, she sent me something and she meant to say like, but it autocorrected to kike. And I was like, that is so amazing. That means that she must say kike more than she says
all
like.
the time.
She
it was weird?
All the time.
Emily Yukis posted a picture of her beat up laptop. And
I saw that, yeah.
All of the paint from all the keys have been worn off because I'm guessing because girl nails will do that, right? And one of the only letters that was still there was J. And I thought that would have been worn off like a million years ago. But then I realized, oh no, it's probably because she says she's using the K. She never uses the J.
She's ascended beyond even saying Jew at this point.
It's like not even,
Vincent Pendragon. Devon, you up to do a stream where you show us how you make a short vid or any AI content?
Oh, it's just easy. I mean, just go to Grok and type in, I want a picture of a monkey. And it makes a monkey.
And then you adjust incrementally. You gotta learn how to.
Well, yeah. I mean, you get the hang of it. Like basically it's all about specificity. Yeah. Like if you can, AI is like a retard or rather, honestly, it's not much different than like programming, right? When you write a program, you're writing it. You're writing software because computers can calculate things a lot faster than humans. But in order for it to do it, because they're also kind of dumb, you have to be really specific about how to calculate it, or it'll get it wrong. And AI is no different. So if you wanted to make a picture and you have like a really specific, vision in mind, you have to describe it as specifically as humanly possible, or it's not going to be what you want. Because it can't read your mind. So like monkey is a perfect example. If I just said make a monkey and I was thinking about snub-nosed monkeys, which are like these weird little Asian orange and white monkeys that are kind of like, I kind of wouldn't mind having one of you guys are talking about dogs and cats. I want a snub-nosed monkey perhaps. But if you got, are you looking it up? You look up a snub. No, look one up. Look up snub-nosed monkey, and you'll
They're
be like, what?
really weird looking.
Yeah, they're super weird looking, and
They
so
don't really look like monkeys.
no, they look like Ewoks, and so it's kind of like if that's what you wanted, and you just put monkey, and it just made some random monkey, you'd be like, no, I want it to be orange, and like the AI is not going to know. Well, why the fuck would I make an orange monkey, right? And so you have to be like really specific with what you want it to do and and that's all AI. That whether you're doing research, like if you're just on ChatGPT and you're asking it for research, you have to be really specific about what you want. If you're making AI music, same thing. If you're making AI anything, you have to be really specific. I mean, I used AI the last couple of days to help out with a coding project that I was working on. And same thing. It's like you have to like be hyper specific with what you want, or it's just going to spit out garbage code that you can't use.
Yeah.
So that's really there's no trick. That's the trick is you just have to act like act like you're talking to fucking Rain Man.
Totally. That actually really helps. You have to be hyper specific. Stephen Campbell, I understand why people are sympathetic to a 12.5% native guy, but mathematically tolerance ruins our breed because it gets incorporated on a long enough time scale. By the way, Devon, it's FST. FST?
Is that the cluster thing?
Okay.
I think that's a cluster map he's talking about. Yeah, well, here's the thing is like I said, it matters. Perfect example, right? It matters what that dilution is. If you had a glass of water or 2 glasses of water, and I said one of these glasses of water has 1 drop of chlorine in it, and one of them has a drop of botulism in it, well, the one with the drop of chlorine, you could drink it and nothing bad's going to happen. The one with the drop of botulism in it will kill you. And so it doesn't, like, percentage isn't the only thing you have to think about. It's like, what is that percentage? Yeah. And like I said, with the genetics we're talking about, when it comes to Fuentes, it is very genetically distant. It's not like, oh, he's a quarter. Like, honestly, even like Turkish people are closer related to founding stock Americans than Fuentes is. That's to give you an idea, and I'm not just saying that. That's for real. Like they have more in common with us genetically than he does, because the population that his genes come from was isolated from Europe for tens of thousands of years. Whereas at least with if you're from like Turkey, there was the geographical closeness that created a closer genetic association, I guess.
Right. Let's see. El Quakey says, dono for the doggo. Yay! Man and Blonde's best friend, trying to keep positive amidst today's blackpilling Supreme Court ruling. The future hyphenated American hordes will create such vibrant favelas. I don't know. I'm unaffected by this because I don't ever expect political or systemic solutions. So I'm like, that doesn't matter. We're obviously gonna have to take things in our own hands. Thank you for the dono. Stephen Campbell, been based enough deck for decades. I know the more clever racist and clever someone is, the more genetically good they are. I don't even need to see them. Agreed. A big dono from Tuffy Banana. Thank you so much. Let me reload, but I think I'm good over here. And Cassandra, I noticed that you sent the same super chat, huge super chat, giant super chat to Devon again with the same note. Please, we can send that back. I don't anticipate that you meant to send this twice. Devon?
What is it on mine? There's another one popping up?
Yeah.
Or on YouTube, you're saying? I don't see it twice.
No, on yours. I just saw it come up again just now.
No, it's not on mine twice.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
I think Rumble just sucks. I think Rumble just...
But the whole thing just came up just again in the live chat.
It's not on mine.
Wow, okay.
I don't have it. The last one I've got is Mike Hawk 420 Blazing.
Okay, I think we're good. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
All right, thank you guys, and we will be back here next Wednesday at 5 o'clock Pacific time, as per usual. I will be doing the Insomnia stream on Saturday at 10 o'clock Pacific time, 10 p.m. Pacific time. And,
I missed one. Sorry. I missed one. Keep going, and then I'll read it.
Well, that was it. That's all.
Oh, okay. VTubing enthusiasts, not to contribute to the chaos, but you got to admit anime and VTubers are far better than being N-ball. What does this mean? Geocattle? N-ball? I'm not sure what this means. I'm sorry.
He's trying to say that being an anime enjoyer is better than being a sports ball enjoyer, and I would say nope. You guys both get the pit.
Hell, weebs are far superior than groypers. Weebs are good people. We're not bad. I don't think you're
Well,
bad.
you guys are better than
Devin's-
groypers, but who's not? Like groypers are literal trash people. Most of them are brown, and the rest are gay. So
I like the weebs. Come on.
if it depends, if you're young and you haven't grown out of it, okay. So okay, but grow out of it, dude. Like, don't be a grown man watching cartoons. Okay. And don't, especially if you're making part of your enough of your identity to where you're calling yourself a weeb about if you're drawing from a foreign culture to do that, are you even white at that point? Are you spiritually
Japanese?
It doesn't matter. Are you spiritually Asian now?
It's different with the Japanese.
No, it's not. I'm supposed to sign off on those fucking slant-eyed zipperhead nuke fodder. We dropped the fucking atom bomb on those fucking chinky-eyed bastards.
Yet they persevered.
Yeah, which means we got to keep an eye on those sneaky fuckers. That's why we don't let them have an army, because the second we do, they're going to be building that Voltron shit. They're going to be making like mecha whatever. And
in the hierarchy of races, Japanese are second to white.
I mean, probably. I mean, I'd say that probably.
Yeah, totally.
And in fact, they're above some whites, whites, quote unquote, like the mud people whites, the swarthy whites. I'm looking at you, Italy. If you told me where would you rather sleep outside, like on the street with no worries of being like mugged or raped to death,
Japan, for sure.
Yeah. Some city in Japan or some random city in Italy, I'd say Japan.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Japan was so awesome. Okay, let's close out on that note. Grumpy Devon needs to get some sleep. We will see you next Wednesday. I do have a few tickets still available to my event on July 18th in Manhattan. Go to my pinned tweet, blondes_tweets. If you would like to buy a ticket, I think we've got like a handful available. I'm not entirely sure. Check out my show with Cameron McGregor tomorrow, every Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on my YouTube channel, Blonde and the Belly of the Beast. We will see you next Wednesday. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.